Across from FedEx in Lynn Haven.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
It's a bully, but we aren't afraid of a fight. It's elusive, but our focus never fades. It's deadly, but we were born to defeat cancer. You may not have heard of us, but our work has helped millions impacted by cancer. We are the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. We are leaders in advancing breakthroughs in immunotherapy, genomics, and personalized medicine. This research saves lives. After 65 years of fighting blood cancers, we've arrived at a game-changing belief. The cures for cancer are in our blood. The drugs and treatments we've developed for blood cancers have helped people affected by many different types of cancers. We are the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Beating cancer is in our blood. Learn more at lls.org.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you ready?
Okay, let's begin.
Trip. The Afternoon Underdog Trip. Live and local. Inside the Talkhouse.
Unleash the dragon.
On the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
You are now riding with the Afternoon Underdogs, and you're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. We are live and on location out here, Dave and Buster's in Pier Park. I got the mics set up like it's COVID. So just don't be Rudy Gobert over there, Drew. Again, you're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. We're on 104.3 here in Panama City, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. The Afternoon Underdogs. I'm David Hayes, along with Kyle Wright, Drew Gorman, Nick Gurley, Amanda Muller. She is the perfect timing for Amanda, the assistant general manager of Dave & Buster's in Pier Park, looking like you're in elementary school with your backwards chair.
You know, sometimes it's
let me unmute you there. Go ahead.
It's easier to get like in and out. So when I have to take a radio call real quick, I don't have to like worry about jingling my keys and pushing a chair back. Like,
there you go. There you go.
Wednesdays we were pink. Good job.
Is that, would you consider that pink?
It's salmon.
Pink, it's more pink than you're wearing.
That's absolutely true. I do have like a little shade of pink if you had a couple of different colors.
Did you see my dolphin friend? I was showing them.
That was pretty cool. There we go, incriminating ourselves on the air.
Oh, well, not necessarily, but
I didn't feed it.
Okay.
I didn't even. So that was okay. So that was interesting.
It's kind of hard to see in that picture.
We were out boating today. Go do the Shell Island thing. Run into this awesome pod of dolphins. So obviously, I'm showing the tiny human, and Nick's like, "Do not feed them." I'm like, "What?" He loves me, and he was like, "It's illegal. You can't feed him." And I was like, "But look at it." And he was like, little flipper, and he was just like waiting right there. He's like, "Yeah, it's illegal to feed them." I'm like, "Good thing you told me, because I would have absolutely fed him." Without that knowledge, like they should definitely tell you when you're renting boats and stuff.
Well, if you had a fishing pole, he would have ate.
Yeah.
If you would have had a fishing pole and you caught a fish, he would have ate it.
Yeah. I know.
Immediately.
I didn't.
Very fun
for people listening that didn't know, it's a thing. You cannot feed dolphins. I didn't know you couldn't feed dolphins.
So
I didn't. But I wanted to.
You didn't hit it too hard.
We didn't hit it.
Well, I'm just making sure it's not like, because if it's Tua, he's gone.
Oh my gosh.
No, he's learned Taekwondo. He knows how to fall.
Jiu-jitsu.
He knoes how to fall. Jiu-jitsu. He knows how to fall.
Don't talk if you
Wait,
don't know.
actually, it might be Taekwondo.
You roll a lot in jiu-jitsu, so now he's not going to just plop on the ground like he
Jerry.
always does. Now he'll know how to roll out everything.
Oh, man, and she's gone.
So long.
All right, we got a great show lined up for you guys today, or at least I suppose that we do. We're going to have to go.
All right.
Well, the way that we just started right there, that's why I'm just going to say, I suppose that we do. But we might not do a lick of what we plan to and just get into everything as we always do. We're going to get into the Go-to-Goat sports movie here in the next segment, go over the two matchups that we have for the Final Four, where we're standing with all of that. The voting does not end today, though. That moves on into next Wednesday. We're giving you guys 2 full weeks for the Final Four, so that if you want to take the time out, you can possibly go check it out and or check those movies out and make sure that you'll watch those. We do have a trivia question today at 4:40. We'll take the first text, and as always on Wednesdays when we're out here at Dave & Buster's, you can come find us, and you're going to win a $10 Power Play card here at Dave & Buster's. And why is that so impressive on a Wednesday, Kyle?
Because $10 goes $20. It's half price games, baby, and we got half price cocktails from 4 to 7.
Yeah, happy hour from 4 to 7 p.m. So make sure y'all get out here to Pier Park, stop by Dave & Buster's, and come find the Afternoon Underdogs. 5 o'clock, we're going to dive into, as we always do on Wednesdays, a little Would You Rather, which we're not even going to use a quarter of the questions that I got today because we got a full crew on hand, baby. That makes it a lot of fun, and it also helps my show prep for next Wednesday just a little bit as well. Then we're going to continue on with our NFL divisional preview, and we're going to take a look at the AFC South, as well as give our record predictions for the NFC South here in the next segment, and we'll wrap it up with some local today at 5:40. So what are we going to dive into? How about last night, baseball? 12 teams over 10 runs in the double digits last night. First time since 1894. Well, I know that as a Braves fan, Nick, I think you can agree with this. It sucked to see the Braves lose last night, but that was it was like watching video game baseball.
It was a bad day to be a pitcher.
That's true.
I'm watching it. I was getting ready for bed because I had to be up early this morning, and it was Austin Riley home run, and then that was it. That was the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
Second Austin Riley home run to go up 13-11. That was it. That's all we needed. Obviously not.
No.
Woke up this morning, lost 16-13. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it seemed like nothing. I was telling Jess, it's funny. You know how bad you must feel when you're out in the field and your pitcher comes in, gives up 2, and then your hitters come in, put up 5.
Yeah.
You're like, this is all right. Good deal. He's going to go out there and deal the rest of this time. He's got the jitters out. Bryce Elder's been lit up the last two times he's stepped on the mound, and then comes out, gives up 7. I mean, it was like, and then we go right back up, and then he gives up more, and it's like, good night, man. It was a rough day, but it was also fun to watch. It was.
A lot of those games last night reminded me a lot of slow pitch softball in this area.
Slow pitch softball, regardless of the area, is always going to be the same, or at least I assume.
Only Florida puts up a lot of runs.
Not against our team.
Yeah. Oh, how is softball going over there at Oakland Terrace in the summer leagues?
Anyway, so the Reds scored 10 runs last night and lost 2.
Oh, man, that's not a good answer. Yeah, talk about the Reds-Giants game. We'll revisit it again at 4:40 this afternoon. That was just a subject changer?
Just take what Nick said and repeat it. That's literally what the Reds and Giants game was. Yeah. Giants went up 3-0. Reds tied the game 3-3. Giants go up 4-3. Joey Votto hits a 2-run home run. It's 5-3 Reds. It's like back and forth, and then Luke Weaver strikes out 2 guys, looks incredible, walks the next 2, strikes the guy out. Comes back the next inning, strikes the first 2 guys out, and gives up 2 base hits in a row, and then a 3-run bomb to put the Giants back ahead, and then takes the next one at 92 miles an hour off the elbow and leaves the game. He only went 2 2/3 innings instead of his usual 4 innings that he's only been able to give us all season.
His usual 4.
And so surprisingly, last night was the first time Luke Weaver with a 7 ERA. It's the first time the Reds have lost one of his starts since back in May.
Wow.
And which is unbelievable. Like with a 7 ERA.
No decision.
Yeah, no, he hasn't. He's 1-1.
So y'all lost both games yesterday.
We lost, on my birthday, by the way.
Oh, man.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you. Thanks, Cincinnati.
Well, if there's one birthday that you got was the 12th Major League Baseball debut for a Cincinnati Reds player and Christian Encarnacion Strand. So what'd you see from his debut?
I mean, he went
430 feet, and that was it.
I think first game he went 0 for 3. Then last night he went 2 for 3 total with a 3-run bomb to put the Reds ahead. One of the times they went ahead. They were down 6-5. He put them up 8-6 on a 3-run bomb, 430 foot, first career home run, upper deck, which is not saying much at Great American, but it's pretty impressive, man. The dude's got a lot of power. The Reds have a bright future ahead, but it's quickly unraveling.
Yeah.
And like I told you it would, if they didn't make certain moves, they were not going to be able to sustain what they were doing, and now it's showing its ugly face.
Well, you can make some trades, make some moves. Bring Shohei to Cincinnati.
I'm telling you. I said this.
I read a article. They were talking about the 8 least long shot dark horse places for Shohei to go, and number 1 was the Orioles, because they actually had somewhat of a farm system to go with this. But I think if I remember correctly, 6 was the Astros, 7 was the Braves, and 5 was the Reds.
Yeah.
Nick, if the Braves did have the farm system to make the move, which they don't, but if they did, let's say that they did and they had enough capital, would you and you're guaranteed that he signs a 3 or more year deal, which is a football type deal, not a baseball deal. Would you want to see him with the Atlanta Braves?
100%. I mean, he's the best player in baseball now. I mean, 100%. See, it's the easy answer. At this point, you pay him whatever. I mean, he's going to get, what, $50 million a year probably?
Yeah.
40, 50. I mean, come on.
If he takes a pay cut.
Yeah, I mean, because he's 2 players in one. He's going to pitch every 5th day and hit 300, or, 275 probably, with 57 home runs every year and a ton of RBIs. And that, I mean, I believe that Atlanta right now is already like a juggernaut. You add Shohei, and good God, I mean, you're not catching Atlanta.
Sorry, go ahead, Drew.
The proposed trade was Atlanta gets Shohei, the Angels get A.J. Smith-Shawver, Vaughn Grissom, J.R. Ritchie, Owen Murphy, and Spencer Schweckenbach.
Well,
that's not enough. Who made that trade?
But listen what they say the Reds would have to say.
A little thing that they said under it, said, believe it or not, this trade does make the grade as a fair deal for both sides. The big prize would be Smith-Shawver, who checked in at number 38 in the top prospects.
So here, we'll give you one of the best pitchers in the American League right now, and in return, the Braves are going to send you a guy who's...
There's 6
most people that are Atlanta Braves fans don't even know who most of those people are outside of Shawver, and the only reason why anybody knows who that is now is because he's been brought up this year.
Right, because I'm a guy, like, if you're down in AA, I probably don't know your name.
Right.
If you're in AAA, I might know if you've been optioned up and then optioned back
if we've
down.
seen you before.
Yeah,
right.
And for the Reds, it would be Reds get Shohei, the Angels get Lodolo, Christian Encarnacion.
Yes,
Encarnacion Strand, and Novel Marte.
So they would get 3 of the Reds, probably like most consistent pitcher, which is what they need. Like, they're trying to get starting pitching in this deal. So it's like you're taking a step back, and
you're not taking a step back.
You're not taking a step. No, you're not. But for the Reds, it would be, because it's a rental for the Reds, and you're giving up 5 years in the future.
Yeah, if you can't afford to sign him to at least 5 years,
right?
I wouldn't say
the Reds are never going to be able to do that.
I guess for the Braves, 3 years wouldn't be bad for the Braves. I mean, you're right there in that window with where we've got right now anyway. So honestly, 3 years to give up that right there, and then go and give him whatever, give him 150 million, 200 million. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can't say this
as a Braves fan.
Obviously, you can't say this as a Braves fan, but
I thought you let off your sentence. But I can't say this. But I'm saying it.
Here I go.
That's a Kyle Wright thing. If there is one.
No, but you can't say this as a Braves fan, but as a Reds fan, you look at all this young talent, and it's like someone said, if you were guaranteed Shohei Ohtani would sign a 5-year extension to stay in Cincinnati, what would you give up? And I said the answer is, what wouldn't I give up? You want Ellie? Take Ellie. You give up anything. You're talking about like the most But baseball's never seen somebody like this. He's the best player in baseball. It's easy. It's easy. Like, obviously, the Braves, you guys have like pieces that you obviously wouldn't give up. You Ronald Acuna, you're Austin Riley. I mean, but Austin Riley, maybe, right? I mean, you think about it.
Shohei
You
can play
really
third
break.
base.
You really. I'm just saying, like, when you really break it down, it's like, okay, well, we'll just bring Vaughn up and we'll put him on short, and then we'll slide Arcia over to third, which is where he started his career anyway. But obviously, it's not ideal, but for the Reds, it's like anybody you want. Like, if he's guaranteed, take him.
Yeah, Kyle,
absolutely. I just don't understand. That trade just doesn't make any sense. Like,
no, that's terrible.
If that's the Braves trade, if that's all they have to give
up,
it'd
be stupid not to.
I mean, if I'm AA right now, I'm sitting on somebody's front doorstep going, "Listen, this is it."
They said it's a fair trade, man. You know what? They said it right there in that article.
I'll throw another one in there. You want Schuster?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
There you go, Schuster.
And they even go on to say, still, this is weak sauce. Or more accurately, quantity over quality. And because Atlanta's farm system is one of the worst in baseball, it's hard to fathom a better offer from the team.
Yeah. No, it is. And, man, like, there's two sides of me, because the answer that Nick gave is the only acceptable answer, right? Of course. It's Shohei Ohtani. You're talking about possibly the best player in baseball. Right now, he's the best player in baseball. Yeah. Right now, he is the best player in baseball. But, man, as a break, here's my thing on that.
Yet. Right. You can't say ever until the guy stops playing. That's the whole reason the Michael Jordan and LeBron James situation for me. Until he stops playing, I'm not going to give anybody that.
That's 100% fair. My issue with Shohei is if next year, and God forbid this happens for the game of baseball, but next year Shohei drops off a cliff and he's hitting 25 home runs, which is still phenomenal, but not the level that we've seen Shohei play to, and he's not pitching well at all at that point, then how are we going to take this 4 years of amazingness, of unicornness, and sit there and be like, this guy's better than Hank Aaron, this guy's better than Barry Bonds? Like, no, like, don't get me wrong, what he's doing is incredible, and I'll take him over Babe Ruth, but we were talking earlier, and it's like, if I was 45 or 50, I still wouldn't be taking Shohei and putting him over Babe Ruth, probably because I'm a little closer to that timeline of Babe Ruth. But my whole life growing up, I've kind of been the outsider, and like, what Babe Ruth did was impressive, but the way that they play the game today is a totally different animal.
He wasn't hitting 90-mile-an-hour breaking balls.
Right, exactly. The
or
level
or throwing them, right?
Or throwing them. So yeah, that's interesting. Kyle did ask Kyle Albritton asked if, as a Reds fan, would you be okay with trading Ellie straight up for Shohei? And it's like,
I mean, only with the extension. Like, if I'm talking about only getting him for the rest of the year, absolutely not. Like, there's not much I would send. I have built a package, like, to get Ohtani this year to Cincinnati. I've seen packages centered around Jonathan India, which I don't think is a bad idea, just because India's got Scott Boras as his agent. He's not re-signing with Cincinnati in 4 years anyway, so you go ahead and get what you can. The Reds would have a legitimate shot with Shohei Ohtani in that lineup. So,
where do you want to see him sign?
Sign?
Cubs? All right, not happening.
You just asked where, the Cubs.
I mean, he could. Yeah. They have a lot of money. They've been throwing it out there.
That's fair. That could be good for baseball to see the Cubbies.
I disagree with that.
That's great for baseball.
As a Reds fan,
Wrigley, it's just fantastic.
What about Nick? What do you got? What are you thinking? I think Seattle is like the coolest landing spot for me.
I think for sure it would be cool to see him in Seattle, but I mean, it was obviously be awesome to see him in Atlanta, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think we can give up enough. I don't think we're not going to. AA is not going to give up enough.
Yeah.
He's not going to give up any of the starters. And he shouldn't.
I mean, just making Arcia the shortstop, and everyone's like, "What in the world?" Like, how
now look at him.
Exactly.
Right. So it's just not going to happen. And right now, I don't necessarily see a team in the NL at all.
Yeah.
I mean, because right now there's nobody in the NL. Just looking at the projections right now, if the season were to end now, I don't see a team there that can really contend with Atlanta or the Dodgers. Unless he went to the Dodgers, that'd be the only team that one could afford him to make that kind of a sacrifice. But no other team that's in the projected right now. Obviously, Cincinnati is close. I mean, they're kind of like fringing.
They're falling off here. They've lost 6 in a row.
Right. But, I mean, just nobody in the NL. Whoever's making a run, I could see maybe the Orioles, but is that enough?
Yeah.
Because they've been going on a run for a while. Typically, people start to fall off. Now, where I would love to see him, Tampa.
Yep. I was going to say the same thing.
And they have plenty of depth in their farm system.
Yeah.
Send him to Tampa. I mean, he would be. Could you imagine him in the Trop?
It wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt their future either. No, it's just like the Reds. It wouldn't hurt their future.
And what's
the way they play is different. Like they don't play like anybody else. So
and it might bring people to the stadium.
Could you imagine Shohei? His jersey sales are already like number one, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
they're like 1 and 2 with Acuna.
Yeah. So Acuna's number one right now, and then it's Shohei. But then, but you put him in the Trop. You're pretty much saying that. You're pretty much saying if you sign, especially they're not going to sign him.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but to win, they're already at what 62 wins, something like that.
They got to be close to it. They got to be close to it.
61 or 62. So him in the Trop would be awesome.
That I
even though I don't like Tampa, I'm just
right. But I love that
awesome
because man, if they could save their franchise. In a sense, or at least save their franchise staying in Tampa. Forget the new stadium.
St. Pete.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, but as the Tampa Rays. But yes, absolutely, St. Pete.
60 and 38.
But you could. So very close to it. 2 games off of that. But you could save your franchise, or at least being there in St. Pete instead of going and getting you a new stadium, which you're going to get that anyways from all the revenue that you would generate. So go ahead and take $1 billion. And just throw it at Shohei. And make it a deferred contract. So instead of we're talking about Bobby Bonilla and the Mets and then Mookie Betts and all of that, forget that. It's Shohei Day.
I have a totally new plan. If I win Powerball tonight, I'm going to take Shohei to the Savannah Bananas. I'll pay him enough.
If I did that, I would just he's just going to be at my house.
Right?
Nobody's going to get to experience watching him baseball.
2-year-old.
He's going to be a glizzy
except
boy.
for me. He's going to be a glizzy boy, and then he's going to be at my house just hitting off the tee. I'm just going to watch him.
We might have to move up. We might have to move up a level if we bring Shohei. They might. Would he be? He would be great. He'd be our pitcher and our hitter, right?
Yeah,
he'd be the designated hitter.
Get behind the screen, though. You were expensive. So
put him in a big bubble.
I want to ask around the table. Like I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but quick.
Do whatever.
Quick yes or no. So I just got the Bleacher Report that says LA is looking for a Juan Soto level package for Shohei. It's weird to compare the two, right? Because Juan Soto, incredible player, but it's not. He doesn't do what Shohei does. But however,
he also had a year and a half.
And that's where I was going to go. So so the Padres knew when they made the Juan Soto trade, they weren't only getting the rest of last year, they were getting all of this year as well. So is it fair for the Angels to be expecting that same kind of package?
Absolutely, it's Shohei.
That's where I was.
Yes,
2 players.
I would say yes.
Yeah, 2 players and a couple prospects.
Sometimes you make exceptions. This is one.
The Angels. I don't believe that I think he's going to sign back with the Angels.
Oh yeah.
I don't believe he's going to sign anywhere else anyway. So if the Angels don't get anything for him, they're just going to sign him, and it is what it is. So you can expect anything you want to expect,
even
and it's
better,
up to somebody else to go get him.
If they had reason to believe that, I just don't know that they're listening to offers, period.
But what if the Angels feel very strongly about Shohei re-signing with him?
Trade him and then
so you know that this year's kind of a wash, or you don't know that, but you're feeling that it's a wash. So you trade him off, bring in some prospects, and then he re-signs with you in the offseason. That's a double whammy. The fans go from ticked off to this is the greatest general manager. Alex Anthopoulos, who?
A better question: if you're an Angels fan, what do you want them to do? If I'm an Angels fan, as a fan, this has got to be the biggest dilemma.
If I'm an Angels fan, I feel kind of the opposite of Nick, just because 6 years now with Mike Trout and nothing's really came of it, and he said he wants to win, and they said they're kind of going all in this year, and they haven't. Now maybe they make some positive moves at the deadline in favor of trying to keep Shohei, but I just feel like with 6 years and everything, if I'm a fan, I feel like he's out the door. Trade him so that at least we get something before he's gone.
I'm with you right there. Just come on, at some point as a fan, you've got to look at it and go, okay, this isn't working. Let's blow it up, rebuild, start over, and start from there.
I think that's as a general manager. As a fan, it's just wait, baby, wait.
See, I feel like
unless you did the De La Cruz situation.
Right. The kind of trade where you
that'd be the only one that you could really do with a young kid that's what is he, 20?
He's 21, yeah.
21.
Jeez.
So he's 21, still got 5 years on his contract. Go get somebody like him.
He's
seven
not
years.
arbitration eligible till 2028.
There you go. So unless you went and traded him for somebody like that, or him and another person or something like that, that'd be the only way that I would ever want to get rid of.
Seeing all of these young guys coming up to the league so quickly and being as good as they are, they might have to do something about the arbitration laws and how all of that works out. It's like the running backs right now in the NFL. Like, they've got to figure out something, or else, like, are we going to continue to have that position?
You know how much the Reds, technically bought Ellie for, or signed him for?
60, right?
65,000.
Yeah, 65,000.
Which is robbery.
Yeah, I mean, it is to a degree, but also that's life-changing money for Ellie De La Cruz.
No, it was. And now he's got all these endorsements and everything, and Mission Impossible.
You start making that little bit of money, though, and right, though, the endorsements that come along with that is great stuff. It's the Afternoon Underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't go anywhere if you want to find out what the latest scores are, percentages are in the GOAT of GOAT sports movies. Very close.
It's good.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
That ball is going to be out of here.
It was a wild night for Austin Riley and the Atlanta Braves.
What a night for Austin Riley. 2 homers, 7 RBI.
The Braves ended up losing 16-13, but look for redemption tonight. Braves Diamondbacks. Coverage starts at 6:20 on your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Wednesday. The rest of the day, slight fog and 88 with a gentle breeze around 10 miles per hour out of the southwest. Tonight, slight fog with lows around 81. Tomorrow, slightly foggy in the morning followed by sunshine with a light breeze and a temperature near 90. Moving into Friday, about the same with a high of 89 and sunshine. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
As we barrel toward the fall, you don't want to miss a single pitch of the Braves as they try to lock up their 6th straight division crown.
Harris puts a charge him onto left center field. That baby's out of here. Michael Harris is second.
Tonight, it's another big National League battle as Sean Murphy and the Braves square up against the Arizona Diamondbacks at Truist Park.
Coverage starts tonight at 6. First pitch is 6:20 on your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida is on location at Dave & Buster's.
And we're back. It's the Afternoon Underdogs. You're tuned in to ESPN Northwest Florida on the frequencies of 104.3 here in Panama City, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. Just got a little French fry lodged in my throat there. And a great time to come out to Dave & Buster's. And we're going to be here till what time tonight, Kyle?
7:30. Central Standard Time.
Central Standard Time. And why are we going to be here till 7:30 tonight?
It's Drew's birthday.
It is Drew's birthday.
Let's go.
Happy birthday. Drew, how old are you today?
I am as old as Kyle is from yesterday.
No, it was Kyle's birthday yesterday, so we're going to be hanging out tonight until 7:30. So
I got confused there for a minute. I was like, oh, crap. I didn't tell him. I was like, I knew it was yours. I was like, oh, no. I didn't stole one of his little mini glizzies.
Mini glizzies. That's what they got to go by for now on. Mini glizzies. Yes, sir. All right, so I'm going to pull up the statistics here. Happy Gilmore's taking on Happy Gilmore's got Rocky, right?
No, Happy Gilmore's on the right side. Yeah, so Rocky.
Caddyshack versus Waterboy. And we've got some very close matchups. Who do you think's winning? Who do you think's winning, Amanda?
I would say only because of the afternoon show, we've got Caddyshack probably winning, but I don't want it to. I want both Waterboy and Happy Gilmore winning.
All Sandler final?
Yeah.
I obviously know, so I'm not going to guess.
Okay, what about for you, Nick? What do you think the percentages are looking like right now?
To me, none of these four were ever in the top four for me anyway. So at this point, I'm going to say it's going to be an all Sandler final. That's what I think. So Caddyshack's a little too
What were your
old,
final four?
Well, the fact that Remember the Titans isn't in the top four of best sports movies is absolutely crazy.
You can yell at so many other voters that voted against you. That's fine.
There you go. There's 145 of them. Actually, we have over 400 votes on each one last, or was it three?
Last week it was over 350 on each on every single one,
which is pretty good.
Which we're on track for again.
Work a little faster right now.
I can pull it up if I have to. I got it ready.
All right. Well, you might have to do that because I'm just getting a little blue circle of circle of death right now. Are you getting that too? All right. He's got it. Go ahead with the results.
Drew, did you pick?
I'm echoing the double Adam Sandler.
Okay. Well, as of right now, with 155 responses on both, we have the same exact margin between the two, and it is 50.3 to 49.7. They are razor thin with 155 votes on both. And we've got Waterboy with a slight lead over Caddyshack, and Happy Gilmore with a slight lead over Rocky. But I feel like one vote will swing these in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So will it let you vote a second time?
You can vote,
You can vote as many times as you want to.
Okay.
We were going to change that for the final four, but the fact that we've been doing this the whole time, so why change it up?
I just can't remember if I did vote for this one or not. So I don't want to go in and sway it at this point. At this point, I may just go ahead and just go against Waterboy.
That's
and the
why.
other one just so that the comedy section doesn't win.
Well, I
love a good comedy movie, but they don't deserve to be in sports. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's going to come down to if you want the Adam Sandler connection, Waterboy.
I know. That's just. I thought that was that's not what I wanted to win. That's just what I think's going to happen.
I'm right there with all of you guys, though. Remember the Titans is definitely a top 4 movie of all time. The Rookie would have been mine, but I wasn't surprised that didn't make it so far.
I'm not either, but it would have been in mine.
There was another one that I saw the other day. No, that one was in. There was another one that I saw.
I love Moneyball.
Yeah,
I think Moneyball's a great movie.
So good.
Well, it's Amanda's fault that it didn't make it past.
It is not. I voted
where she kept on picking Sandlot over Moneyball.
I did not.
Which I think is crazy all in its own.
Crazy.
As Kyle would send them back out, I was like, what is happening? All of my movies are gone.
It's kind of like the Go-to-Goats from last year. You know what I mean?
I couldn't be more wrong on that one.
Right.
All my top, when I did mine, they were all gone in the first round. I was like, obviously I don't know anything about sports. Why am I even here?
Well, that's kind of the beautiful thing about sports, though, is there's no wrong answer, though.
Right.
Especially when you're talking about something as subjective as being
you vote for Caddyshack.
The greatest of all time. Yeah, she's still not happy about Caddyshack being this far into it. But Happy Gilmore, Waterboy, those are the two I would like to see come out on top from this and face off, because Ryan had a good idea today. Maybe I can reach out to one of the Danettes on the Dan Patrick Show and see if maybe Dan could hook us up with Adam Sandler and get a little 5 to 7 minute spot with him talking about some of his movies, and then, hey, look, the GOAT of GOAT sports movies
came down to you versus you.
You might be surprised at this. We're slightly surprised at this, but we've got Happy Gilmore and Waterboy. Which was your favorite to make, and which was your favorite to watch? Have you ever watched your own movie? What
I hear a lot of actors don't watch their own movies.
I think it's weird sometimes. I don't mind listening back to myself, but I don't really go back to the Facebook and watch.
Right.
But also, I'm not acting or anything. I'm sitting in a chair. So
I've learned that if Adam Sandler were to move here, he would be a king from just these votes here. The fact that his two movies are the best two sports movies.
I think he's a king anywhere he lives.
Yeah.
That's a good point. We were talking too about like splitting up brackets of just doing 32 Adam Sandler movies and 32 Will Ferrell movies and just letting them go at it. But yeah, next year probably sports video games. I think that's the right way to go. I even got MLB The Show 23 broke down, did exactly what I said I wasn't going to do, and ended up getting it because it was on sale for I got it for like $20. So I was like, I might as well.
Kyle and I will do our separate bracket of like wrestling entrances.
Yeah, wrestling entrances.
I love it. I'm down.
What's number one?
Wrestling entrances?
Yeah,
The Undertaker.
I want to hear
of all time or like specifics because Shawn Michaels WrestleMania off the zip line.
Yeah, but that's like a one-time thing, right? So
But
that's
still,
where
I
we have
take
to draw
Shawn
the
Michaels.
line.
Any of his entrances were great.
Yeah, that's fair too. Especially when he had the in-ring pyro.
Yeah.
That was.
What about Sting at Club La Vila? Coming in.
Pretty good.
Pretty okay.
I'll go with
Razor Ramon always had a good one. I love
Yeah.
that.
That's number one, and we'll make sure that happens
Under the
next
ladder.
year. I'll make sure that happens next year. I know how to manipulate this voting.
To see live Undertaker.
Yeah,
Easily.
he's pretty good.
For me.
Any WrestleMania entrance is always over the top, but I think Shawn Michaels were always good. Razor Ramones were always good.
I like Scott Hall better than Razor Ramon.
Same guy, it's fine.
I used to wrestle, on the video game, and Scott Hall would always win, especially the NWO version.
Yeah, but at Scott Hall, you don't throw a toothpick in someone's face, and I think that's important.
Yes, you did with Scott Hall. He had the toothpick.
Razor Ramon had the toothpick.
They both had the toothpick.
They
did. Yo, Chico.
No.
Oh, wow.
No.
Entrance and exit. 0215-6290 is the no, it's not. We're talking. It's been at least a decade. We're taking your texts, not calls today, because we're out here at Dave & Buster's, and Markeisha's been taking care of us today. I had the barbecue chicken flatbread pizza, which is really good, especially if you like some red onions and banana peppers, like Kyle does it.
I love banana peppers.
So we're going to be talking about the AFC South here, and not the top of hour number 2, but in hour number 2. We left off last week talking about the NFC South, and we didn't get into our record predictions and who's going to be winning the NFC South. You don't even have your predictions with you anymore. I know that.
I don't, but I
know that you had the leader of the South with the NFC South with a 9-8 record, if I remember correctly.
I did.
Let's start off, because I know everyone's going to be thinking about this, so I want to give them some time here. And you can also give us your predictions via Facebook or 850-215-6290. But NFC South, AFC South. Saw a little article on thescore.com earlier where they were talking about NFL divisions competitively speaking and ranking their competitiveness. And you had the AFC South and the NFC South at the bottom, 8 and 7. Which division do y'all think is going to be less competitive out of the NFC South and the AFC South? Kyle, I'll let you start here.
I think the AFC South is just going to be a little less competitive this year than the NFC South, and I don't think that necessarily means that the NFC South has better teams. I just think the AFC South has worse teams. Does that make sense?
I absolutely agree with that. That's pretty much what I was going to say. It's like neither of them are going to do great,
right?
But the AFC South is going to do a little less great.
Okay. Exactly.
I think it's going to be the opposite.
Okay, go ahead, Nick.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I think it's going to be the opposite. I don't think the NFC South has anybody in there.
Oh, you're a Jaguars fan, too. Huh?
I am a Jaguars fan, but even still, the NFC South, I mean, you have, a Tom Brady-less Tampa Bay Buccaneers that has no quarterback. Not
Baker
really.
Mayfield, essentially.
So no quarterback.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, the Falcons have, Ritter?
Yeah, it's going to be Desmond Ritter or Taylor Heineke.
That's cool.
So I love Heineke,
It's going to be Taylor Heineke by week 4.
Quarterback.
I love Heineke,
and then
though.
The Saints, who have
Derek
Carr.
So Derek Carr might pull it out. He might actually do something. And then the Panthers have
Bryce Younger or Andy Dalton.
So a brand new quarterback and the Red Rocket.
But I think we went over the offense
like
in the
they're going to be a really good division, guys.
Panthers are a sneaky offense right now.
We talked about that last week.
But do what you just did with the NFC and go to the AFC.
So the AFC, but
there's only one stud quarterback over there.
It's the Jaguars and the Titans is really at the top.
Yeah, but it's Trevor Lawrence though. He's like the quarterback.
Yes, 100%.
Because I mean, Tannehill, I don't know. I just don't think he can get you over the hump.
I was talking about teams. I wasn't talking about quarterbacks at that point.
Yeah, but then so when you look at the teams,
just get D-Hop or something like that.
Yeah, they did get DeAndre
They have the worst
Hopkins,
offensive line in the NFL.
Well, they have the most unrankable, or one of the most unrankable offensive lines, because they brought in a bunch of second-tier guys or second-string guys from other teams, and now they're all going to be playing together, so we'll see. But there's really no one returning that's a big name from last year's offensive line, and last year's offensive line was terrible, so maybe that's a good thing. We'll have to see about it. But yeah, the offensive line is not good, which is not good for the mobility of Ryan Tannehill, who's aging and looking less mobile. Then you got C.J. Stroud, rookie quarterback for the Texans. You've got Anthony Richardson, rookie quarterback with a big question mark, because is that athleticism that everyone's raving about, is that the truth?
He's going to get hurt in week 6.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he was hurt with the Gators. He's always hurt, so...
So to answer your question, I think the NFC South is going to be the worst.
The least competitive?
The worst division.
Yeah.
But the progression is looking better for the NFC South rather than the AFC South.
That's fair. I can agree with that.
All right, so let's since you already have yours ready, you want to break down your NFC record predictions?
Yeah, I have. I had the Falcons winning the division at 9-8. I have the Saints at 8-9. I had the Panthers at 6-11, and then I had the Buccaneers at 4-13.
Wow,
not too shabby.
I have the Saints winning the division at 10-7. Panthers not far behind at 9-8, and then the Falcons not far behind at 8-9, and then the Bucs at 5-12.
Ooh, 5-12 for the Bucs. Good draft pick maybe for them. What do you got, Nick?
So I'm not going to give wins and losses.
Yeah, I won't either.
I wasn't told we were doing this.
Right, like I wasn't ready.
Hey, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, I haven't looked at any of these schedules.
I'm just going to go right.
Yeah. So, but I do believe that the Saints win the division. I do believe the Buccaneers will get in last, and I mean the other two are kind of a toss-up. But I think Atlanta's going to be a better team than the Panthers. So I'm going to say Saints, Atlanta, Panthers, and then the Buccaneers.
I'll be the weird one. It's fine. I'm going to say the Falcons win the division. The Saints are right behind them. Then the Panthers, then the Bucs.
All right. So one thing we've all agreed on is that
the Bucs are terrible this year.
In the NFC South, which I mean, it could be. And then, who knows though? I mean, maybe Kyle Trask, steps in and carries on, or continues what he did in his senior year or his final year there at Florida. See how that works out for him. So yeah, I would have the Bucs finishing 4th. I would have I'm stuck in between the Falcons and the Panthers, 2nd and 3rd, just like you. But I think I've got more faith in Frank Reich and a new quarterback than what I do with some moves that I like what the Falcons have done, but I just don't know if that's going to translate to wins. So I'll go Falcons 3rd, Panthers 2nd, and then Saints and Derek Carr win the division.
I think it's hard to take it away from Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I mean, Derek Carr, he's definitely the best quarterback in that division by far.
And
by a lot.
For the first time in his career, he's going to be playing behind a good defense. So in the NFL, you got to have a good defense. You're
is
right.
Michael Thomas still on that team?
He is,
allegedly. So are we going to get somebody's always going to draft him last in fantasy football?
Yeah.
Just so we're like, maybe he comes back.
Maybe so.
No, it'll be me this year.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Okay. Who's the running back you guys are keying in on?
Right now, it's been Alvin Kamara.
No, like fantasy. Like if you had the first round pick in the fantasy football draft, who would be the number one running back?
I don't want a top 5 pick.
You don't want a top 5 pick?
No.
Dude, on the Inside Drive today, Keith Fleming, host of 2 Off the Tee, he covers daily fantasy sports and stuff, and he said that he wouldn't take a running back with his first 2 picks. And I'm like, for the first time in a long time, you can actually say that, and that's okay, because people wouldn't make fun of you if you were in the top 5, right, in your fantasy football league, and you took Travis Kelce. People would be like, makes sense. It's okay to do that.
It's really a couple years ago we would have laughed, but the running back value has started to diminish a little bit. Where you remember back in the day, if you had a receiver go down, you could go to the waiver wire and just go pick up Jamal Hines for the Panthers, and he'd get you 14, 15 points, which was all you needed that week. Nobody's ever heard of the guy, but he's gotten 12 points 3 weeks in a row, so here we go. It's not like that anymore with receivers. it's more like that now with running backs.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, I keep, and I'm guilty of this. I do it every year. I reach for a running back in the first round. I've done it with Dalvin Cook a couple times. I think I did it with, forgot who I did it with last year.
A lot of people do it with McCaffrey real quick.
See, and that's one too. But they keep getting hurt. And I end up
Saquon
running
is
with
an easy pick too.
Jonathan
Taylor.
Like a fourth string running back at the end of it all. So I think if I had a top 5 to pick this year, I'd go receiver as well. But I guess if I had to pick a running back in the first round, I mean, Eckler would be the safest bet, but still, like, how safe is it? Because he's that offense.
The other option would be Josh Jacobs, but with him holding out of camp right now, you don't know what's happening.
Nick Chubb,
hold
maybe?
out. Chubb.
Better than getting the bag, though. I think it's, not better for them to hold out, but it's better for them to be playing on the franchise tag, regardless of what they think, because once they get the bag, for some reason, it's just like the production drops off a cliff. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. Which running back would you take if you had the first overall pick in your fantasy football draft? Or rather, which player would you take if you had the number 1 overall pick? We'll be right back. Y'all keep it locked in to ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida has the real local fishing report. Hi, this is Tim from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle. Join me every Friday at 4:20 during the Afternoon Underdogs. It's accurate, detailed content from local anglers, plus fishing updates on Saturday and Sunday morning right when you hit the water. Advice and stories from local anglers. Tune into the Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle Fishing Report, exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Wednesday. The rest of the day, slight fog and 88 with a gentle breeze around 10 miles per hour out of the southwest. Tonight, slight fog with lows around 81. Tomorrow, slightly foggy in the morning followed by sunshine with a light breeze and a temperature near 90. Moving into Friday, about the same with a high of 89 and sunshine. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Take your next adventure in an eco-friendly, all-electric Kia EV6 that gives you the movement that inspires. You can live fully charged while saving now and down the road on fuel costs. Schedule a test drive today and explore the electrified Kia vehicles at Bilbert Kia. You have to drive it to believe it. Now offering $7,500 EV lease bonus when you lease a new 2023 Kia EV6 wind electric all-wheel drive for 36 months. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology with a performance that minimizes the impact of our environment. Bilbert Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. See us today at 2435 East 15th Street or BilbertKiaPanamaCity.com. We make it easy to switch to EV ownership and give you the peace of mind you can trust.
Close-in lease based on a new 2023 Kia EV6, model number N5452. No security deposit required. $7,500 EV lease bonus not available for cash. Subject to credit approval, dealer participation, and vehicle availability. $49.99 due at signing for well-qualified leases. See dealer for complete details. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bilbert Kia warranty. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 9/5/23.
It's go time all the time. Sports talk around the clock.
Oh my gosh!
Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Back. It's the Afternoon Underdogs. You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. It's on 104.3 here in Panama City, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. Don't forget about the blast at Bay Point. That's where you be caller number 10, play a little high-low. If you guess the number correctly, you and a guest could win 18 holes. I almost said 18 rounds, and Ryan would have been mad. 18 holes at the legendary Bay Point Golf Club, the Nicholas course right over there. If you don't get the number correctly, you still win a consolation prize of a large bag of golf balls for the range. And let's see what else here we got. Your next opportunity is going to be at 8:40 on Monday morning. We're going to have a brand new trivia question. So the first person to text their answer in is going to be winning. A reminder: you can't win if you've won in the last 30 days. Patrick Mahomes is 64-16 in the regular season. In those 16 losses, only 3 quarterbacks have defeated him twice. Who are the 3 quarterbacks? Should be a pretty easy Google if you don't know the answer off rip.
So I got 2 of them right earlier. I never did get the third one.
Oh, yeah.
But I was
Would
going
that been your guess?
I was going to pick that. I thought it may have been too obvious, so I was trying to think outside the box and really didn't need to. There's 2 easy ones, especially if you know the NFL and you know Patrick Mahomes.
I've got the 2 in my head, but
the third one is a wild card. It's a name that you would not expect.
All right, we got a bold statement from Travis. He says Saints win the NFC South and go to the Super Bowl. Very bold statement. But new quarterback, got receivers. Let's go.
Actually, wow.
There.
Yeah.
They redraft their entire team?
Hey, he said it's a bold prediction, though. So
it is, which I like those, though, you know?
Yeah, of course. I mean, because it doesn't matter if you're right or if you're wrong at the end of the season. You
go put $5 on that just in case. But.
Yeah, I might even go up to 20. If you want to lose $20. Travis Oglesby says for his draft, if he was first overall, he'd take Jamar Chase. His first running back would be Christian McCaffrey. I think Christian McCaffrey. I mean, come on, we're talking about Christian McCaffrey, but in that San Francisco 49ers running back room, of course, he's going to be the star of it all. But you
have so many other options.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan, and I think that doesn't take any value away from Christian McCaffrey, but I'm just a little wary of seeing him. Of seeing how they start the season with CMC, with Elijah Mitchell, with some of the other guys that are so explosive on the offensive side of the ball.
The only thing is that he only averages 10 carries a game with Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah.
But Elijah Mitchell is about as made out of glass. I mean, he came from the same factory as Tua, and CMC. So I mean, all 3 of them. I mean, you never know when each one of them are gonna be in the backfield by themselves.
Yeah. Do we think that, and obviously we're never going to be able to tell, but until the end of the season, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon, last year both stayed healthy for the entirety of the season for the most part. Will they both stay healthy again this year?
It's tough.
I hope so.
I hope so too. I
want to see a full season of just healthy. I want to see what's possible.
I want to see Saquon now getting, so upset with the franchise tag. Hasn't signed his franchise tag at this point in time. Don't even know if he's going to be playing week 1. But I want to see him use that chip on his shoulder, use that as motivation to have another good season. And then if you're not happy with the way that the Giants are treating you, get out of there. Because you don't have to go back. You know what I mean? You don't have to hold out or anything. You can play this season out. But if you take a year off, look at what is Le'Veon Bell all over Twitter right now. Wish he wouldn't have left Pittsburgh, all that good stuff. Well, but you did. You did. You went to the Jets, and it didn't work out anymore. Your career was pretty much done after that. And so that's normally what happens with a position like the running back position that's got such a short shelf life. Short shelf life.
It is hard to say. Short shelf life.
Yeah, short shelf life. It always you miss the L, and then you start sounding like we're gonna go back in the kitchen and start cooking. The short chef life. Chef Ross, what's going on, my man? The break room, a little plug for the break room there. Chef Ross, y'all go see him. They've got specials. I don't know
Spaghetti meatball day on Wednesday now.
Yeah,
what's
right.
Thursday? I want to stop there like on the way or something.
Thursday is, I made a pretty big show sheet today, so it's taking me a little while to get on over to it. But Thursday...
Like hamburger steak or something?
No, I know that
chicken pot pie.
Ah, yeah.
Chicken pot pie on Thursdays, and all the is Drew looking for chicken pot pie right now?
Actually, I am. I'm looking for a menu.
Yeah, no, get on down to the break room though. Tell Chef Ross that the Afternoon Underdogs sent you. Coach Old says Nick Chubb would be his first overall draft pick or first running back that he would take, and I like that. Obviously, you could make the argument that Nick Chubb is the best running back, the best active running back in the game right now. But what happened when Deshaun Watson got off of his suspension last year? Nick Chubb and his production dropped way off as well. So I don't know if I would take Nick Chubb so high there. But Kareem Hunt, he's
still a free agent.
Yeah,
Kareem Hunt, Leonard Fournette, Dalvin Cook.
Golly.
Yeah, dude.
That's what's even more wild than the lack of Saquon and Saquon and Josh Jacobs getting deals, getting extensions before the July or the the deadline for that is that you've got so many good names still sitting out there. Now, Leonard Fournette, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe week 9 or 10 rolls around and he's still out there free agency, then gets picked up by a playoff contender for playoff Lenny.
Right.
But man, Dalvin Cook not being signed to this point, like, is it health? Is it financial? Like, what's going on?
I think that he's been offered a contract. I know that he declined one offer from the Dolphins saying it wasn't enough money, and I think maybe the Dolphins said, all right, well, happy trails kind of thing. I don't know, man. The running back market is not as valuable as the running backs think it is now. Giving a running back $15 million just does not seem...
But what's the alternative? Like, how do you fix it? I know their running backs are a dime a dozen, but at what point? Like, there was a stat that I saw. The overall average pay last year, kickers made $2.8 million.
No, that's the average for 2023. Is the kickers are making about $2 million. But here's the other thing, though: how many teams? And I said the same exact thing yesterday, and then Max DeLayden, who's an accountant, quickly pointed out to me, as well as Tyler Bishop. You've got 32 kickers essentially in the league. So when you break down their salary in an average, but then when you look at the running backs, how many running backs are on the roster? So that really skews those numbers.
But this also goes in. This also goes into something where you can just basically Google pretty much anything and it'll back up your story.
Right.
Well, so, but like, I feel like, to answer your first question, Drew, like, what has to happen to change it? I'm trying to I hope I don't get buried by this answer, but I'm trying to think back when the last time a running back got an extension and was like still elite after.
But they also make them work.
Sound of the bulldozer backing up to bury you.
They also make them work for 4 years just to get paid.
Yeah,
right. I mean, they only have a 7-year span. I mean, they don't have much more than that. So they're basically out of the. Not all of them are beast mode.
Yeah.
That can play well into his 30s. So, I mean, they only have so long.
Right.
So they've already passed their prime by the time they actually get paid. So it's kind of on the league to,
and they don't get drafted.
Really,
they don't get drafted high. So that's, I mean, you have Bijan Robinson, okay, an anomaly there, but they don't get drafted high, so that affects what they're getting paid to start their careers out, and then they've got to go through the same 4 years that everyone else does, and more than likely they're getting franchise tagged, and then after that franchise tag, the team's turning around at that point and drafting another running back. So it's like, bye. And
I think a lot of that stems from the fact that everybody wants the next Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the Texas Tech high-flying Raiders, and they but like this year, I'm a Florida fan, so Florida's going to be awful to watch.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're going to be like the worst team out there. I don't think they're going to be great, but they're going to be a 100% running team. They're not going to be fun. It's not fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, even Derrick Henry, as great as he was a few years ago, nobody loved to watch Tennessee. Nobody.
Outside of that.
Outside of the Tennessee fan base. But nobody was like, everybody wanted to go watch Patrick Mahomes. Look at the Bills. Everybody wants to go see a Josh Allen hit up with Stephon Diggs, and that's what everybody wants to see.
Yeah.
And that's it. Everybody wants to see a high-flying attack, and that's it.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to pay $15 million for a running back that's going to, hit a 290-pound defensive tackle 14 times a game and get 4 yards.
And for Dalvin Cook, you have not played a full season in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, to ask for 10 to 15 million to me is just outrageous.
Yeah. Especially when you see DeAndre Hopkins signing for about close to 12 at the base salary. And so you're seeing, and DeAndre is a little bit older as well, but man, when you see I think one of my biggest things on how much you should be getting paid is if you look at Christian McCaffrey, by the AAV, he's getting paid 16 point something million a year, and which makes him the highest when you look at the AAV. Are you worth more than what Christian McCaffrey is, Dalvin? You know what I mean? That's what I almost would ask myself.
Right.
Like, if I was Dalvin Cook, am I worth more than Christian McCaffrey? No. Like, even an injured Christian McCaffrey is worth a little bit more than Dalvin.
Right. What's crazy now is that you have have all these running backs that are out here catching passes now. Now, they're not real true running backs anymore. They don't run the ball. They don't 15 times a game maybe now?
Depending on the team.
Depending on the team. But most of them now but they're telling them to stop catching those, stop going out, stop being the Debos, stop being the, where they're running the ball and, trying to do both positions.
Right, like a wide back.
Right.
Yeah.
But running backs are trying to flip into that more now because those are the ones that are getting paid.
Yeah.
So you're not going to see very many Derrick Henrys anymore. We really haven't. Derrick Henry was an anomaly there for a little while.
100%.
He was the only one out there doing it. Him and Nick Chubb probably.
Yeah, I would say Nick Chubb's a guy like Derrick Henry. I would say that A.J. Dillon was supposed to be that, but he's never really turned into that. And you're going to have your fullback type running backs who are, good at running people over, but they don't have the side-to-side agility to go along with that. I think one of the other things that they could work on is, or that the NFL could do rather, is to make it to where they only got to go 2 years. They only have to have a contract for 2 years before they get into their franchise tagging and all of that good stuff. Give them an opportunity. Their rookie deal only lasts 2 years is what I was getting at.
Right.
So I think that could benefit the running backs, but we'll have to see what the NFL does, or if they do anything, because if they
the
feel
NFL's
like
known to help out players for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
They're very known for that.
They have
it's a business.
Great PA, right? Maybe they implement some kind of a arbitration type of thing. I don't know.
We were just talking about arbitration changing up for baseball, to an extent, just because of how good these young guns are coming up, the young studs, the young stars. But maybe an arbitration. I don't know, man, because baseball players have it rough. Like, arbitration is basically you finding out how you're. Let's say I have to go have a meeting with Randy every single year on this is what he's good at, this is what he's not good at, or whatever. And you have to find out all the time, like, this is what he sucks at. You know what I mean? It's like,
most
jobs you do get a yearly eval.
An evaluation period
It's not uncommon. It is a business that you get a yearly eval, and they're going to tell you, here's what you need to work on.
Oh yeah, no, and that makes.
So I am totally.
You're muted
down to
over there
them.
because you were talking to the waitress.
And in the NFL, you don't have to have a coach tell you what you're bad at. You got the media doing that.
The fans.
Yeah. The fans are doing it on Twitter when you didn't get them the fantasy points.
Arbitration will from now on just be carried out by the fans and by the media.
Yes.
We don't need
the amount of negative tweets about your
Could you
performance.
imagine you get to choose how much your players make? Like, you're spending the owner's money.
Well, I'm going to drop everyone's salary, and then the ticket prices are going to go way down as well, and then the players are going to be like, you know what, I'm headed to Japan. Exactly. We're going to ruin the league as fans. All right, 850-215-6290. Still looking for an answer to the trivia question. Patrick Mahomes has 16 losses in his regular season career. Who are the 3 quarterbacks that have beat him twice? 850-215-6290. First text to come through that is correct will win a $25 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
It was a wild night for Austin Riley and the Atlanta Braves.
What a night for Austin Riley. 2 homers, 7 RBI.
The Braves ended up losing 16-13, but look for redemption tonight. Braves Diamondbacks. Coverage starts at 6:20 on your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Wednesday's weather forecast. Slightly foggy tonight with a low near 81 and a wind between 3 to 7 miles per hour. A mixture of sunshine and slight fog tomorrow morning, a light breeze and a temperature of 90. About the same in the afternoon and evening, around 90 with sunshine. Top with a high around 89 and sunny Friday. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Chuck was terrible at fishing. He spent many frustrating hours attempting to get results he saw from internet videos, aggravating trial and error fishing trips, and misguided advice from well-intended friends. Chuck is happy now with his newfound success after he visited Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, where we keep fishing fun, simple, and successful. See us soon at Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
As we barrel toward the fall, you don't want to miss a single pitch of the Braves as they try to lock up their 6th straight division crown.
Harris puts a charge in one to left center field. That baby's out of here. Michael Harris is second.
Tonight, it's another big National League battle as Sean Murphy and the Braves square up against the Arizona Diamondbacks at Truist Park.
Coverage starts tonight at 6. First pitch is 6:20 on your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. ESPN, Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida is on location at Dave & Buster's.
And we're back. It's ESPN Northwest Florida. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. Oh, Kyle, you can't take this segment off, buddy. This is Would You Rather. You got to go sit down. No, Chris, you're good to stay.
Share.
Yeah, there we go. We just got to share.
Me to get off for this segment?
No, I was going to say share, man. Sharing is caring, you Care Bear. Come on, Drew. Goodness gracious. All right, we've got Chris Purser in the building with us now for hour number 2. What's going on, Chris?
What's up? Mom always said I had a face for radio.
Hey, there you go. That's why I'm doing this. Welcome to the crew. I think Amanda's the only one of us who doesn't really have a face for radio. That's a compliment.
Okay, hold on now. I'm very pretty. All right? Hold on now.
I knew when I was saying that, I was like, maybe I should include Nick with Amanda here, maybe. But I think Drew would agree, right, though?
Drew calls me pretty all the time.
Nick will cry about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm fetal positioning in my bathroom floor later on today.
Make sure you've got plenty of mustard for the glizzies.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, mustard king over here.
Gotta have mustard.
All right, we're going to play a little Would You Rather. Ooh, I need to check the text real quick, though. Make sure that we didn't have one come through here. We've got a few of them. That is the wrong answer from 703. Travis said, I can't let you answer twice here. And then we've 3 quarterbacks. We're looking for 3 quarterbacks who have beaten Patrick Mahomes twice in the regular season. We've got a couple of close ones, but no cigars to this point. Would you rather fight 100 chicken-sized T-Rexes or 1 T-Rex-sized chicken?
Obviously, the correct answer here is 100 chickens.
I wanted to start this one off.
100 chickens.
Which one runs faster?
Oh, I'm gonna have to say the T-Rex-sized chicken. The T-Rex-sized chicken.
T-Rexes.
Give me the T-Rex-sized chicken, because I think I can attack one. Keep my focus on one thing.
What, running? Yeah, you're just running from it. I mean, I think that would be like fighting 100 chihuahuas. I mean, they're all mean as could be. I think that'd be like fighting 100 chihuahuas.
It would be like the little the aliens in Toy Story.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Scary though, really scary. Yeah, give me the. Oh, I don't know if I want to read that.
You don't want to read that.
Give me the 1 T-Rex sized chicken. Let's go. All right, we'll go to a couple of other ones here that are in line with sports. Let's go Kirk Cousins or Matt Stafford. And I think, how many of you have been able to watch the quarterback series on Netflix?
I've watched 5 episodes.
Dude, so good. And so for that reason, I'm going to say, last year I would have said Matt Stafford's not even close, but I'm really rooting for Kirk Cousins this year to win a playoff game.
It's really given me a new perspective on him and like what you always hear what the quarterback has to go through, but watching that, you're just like, oh my goodness, there are so many extra little things that go into it. And I'm right with you. I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins here.
Matt Stafford went to Georgia, so I don't like him. So I'm going to go Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, NFC North. Woo,
all right.
Yeah, I've always been a Kirk Cousins guy, so.
Oh, all right then. What about you, Chris? Kirk Cousins, Matt Stafford.
I've always liked the story of Cousins and kind of like how he just came out of nowhere and was very successful when he did come out, and then ended up going to Tennessee and still was extremely successful with not a lot of offensive power around him. So.
Yeah. No, that's a great answer. We'll go to a little fantasy football question here. You got to take a wide receiver from the San Francisco 49ers. Would you rather have Deebo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk? I'll start here. No, go ahead, because
last year I had Deebo, and he had 2 touchdowns on the season. And I just watched Brandon Ayuk catch everything that was thrown his way and become an absolute machine. So I'll say Ayuk.
Last year I had Ayuk, and I'm sticking with it.
Okay. Nick?
Oh, Debo all day. I watched Ayuk drop a ball in the end zone that lost me a fantasy week, and I was like, no, never again. And one of my really good friends is a San Francisco fan, and all he does is trash Ayuk the entire time. I like Debo, so Debo.
Yes, Debo might only have 2 touchdowns, but he's also going to have all those rushing yards. He's going to have the receptions, and if you're playing PPR, that helps a whole lot more than just a couple touchdowns from Ayuk.
What about you, Chris?
Yeah, I'm with you. The versatility of Debo over Ayuk all day, and I mean, if you're talking about just purely touchdowns, then it would go a different direction. But when Debo can actually take the heat off your running back, your running game, also, I mean, you just accomplish much more as a team.
Yeah, I like that hat, by the way, man. That thing's sick.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm kind of gonna echo Kyle here because last year, 100%, not even close, it would be Deebo Samuel. But I feel like this year, Brock Purdy's healthy for the majority of the year. I think the connection between Purdy and Ayuk is it could generate a lot of offense for the 49ers. So I'm going to go out on the limb here. I think the safer, smarter answer is Deebo Samuel, but I'm going to risk it for the biscuit and go with Brandon Ayuk. Would you rather attend an NBA Summer League game or MLB Spring Training? Let's start with you down there, Drew.
Being that I have gone to a spring training game, once you get past the 4th or 5th inning, the talent just drops off. Through the summer league, it seems like they are playing hard throughout. So I would rather attend a summer league game, and also it's inside, so I get to stay in the shade.
Good answer, but I mean MLB spring training is the early part of the year, so it's still kind of feeling good, even if you're down there in South Florida or Arizona.
But I'm a very white person, and I need the shade.
He's a ginger.
And that makes me. Have you ever been called Mountain Drew Code Red?
No, but add that to the list.
Please start.
Add that to the list.
Fire on the head.
Yeah, can we put that on your jersey for the Glizzy Boys?
Too long.
Too long? No, man, we can abbreviate it.
Code Red, yeah.
Christian Encarnacion Strand. It's not.
All right, Drew. Nick, back to the question.
I'm a baseball guy. MLB spring training. I watch all the minor league games anyway, so yeah.
Who do you prefer out of Mississippi Braves and Gwinnett? Like, if you had to watch AA, AAA, which one would it be?
Mississippi Braves.
Mississippi
Yeah, because look who we promote from AA. We don't promote from AAA.
Isn't that wild?
Most of our best players are in AA.
Gwinnett Braves are a great time if you've never been there. Like, that is such a fun time.
All right, for you, NBA Summer League, MLB Spring Training.
Anybody that's been listening to me over the past year should not be a question. MLB all day.
All right.
Yeah, I just even as I'm a big Miami Heat fan. My team just made the finals, and I still couldn't have had less interest in what was going on. Like I watched I watched every single game, but I found myself drifting into my phone the whole time. So.
It's what's happened with me in basketball, too, a lot lately is outside of collegiate basketball, but when I'm watching the NBA, a lot of the times it's because there's so many fouls, the whistle will blow, and then all of a sudden I'm losing, concentration or attention span, whatever it is you want to call it. So I would also go with spring training here as well. And then, so take the one that you pick. Wait, Chris, what about you?
No, I agree. I think the total atmosphere at a baseball game is going to outweigh a summer league basketball game all day long. And then the food is going to be better.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I'm going to get tanked either way, but I lose all interest in basketball almost until you get to a playoff push anyway, and summer league would be just completely mind-numbing for me.
Yeah.
Imagine go to one that you get to watch the Spurs, and you get to watch the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah,
and then he's not playing.
No, you don't.
While the third assistant coach is coaching the game and whatever.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so take the one that you picked, and would you rather watch an NFL preseason or the one that you picked? So for Drew, it would be the summer league.
NFL.
Which week?
Season?
Which week?
Week 2.
Week 2. Okay.
Week
That's
2.
Important context. I like that.
Yeah, that is. Which week would you rather watch of the NFL preseason?
Minimum 2, but preferably 3. One would be no question. I'd still go spring training.
Yeah. Okay. I like that, man. Because now that I'm thinking about it, one would be highly irrelevant to go to unless you just really want to see, for the Tennessee Titans this year, preseason might actually be interesting because it's what do we even have? Forget the ones. Are the twos?
That might be the starters. Who knows?
Exactly. So I think I would rather go to an NFL preseason game. I've only been to one NFL game before anyway, so yeah. I live down there in Tampa, but we had to go to church on Sundays, so there was no going to football games instead of church for me, anyways. Growing
NFL
up,
was church in Wisconsin, so
yeah, there you go.
I would run away from home.
At least we got to watch it, though. At least we got to watch it.
It does not matter the week. Football will always reign supreme.
There you go. So let's move on here to would you rather play sports? This is a good one for right now. Would you rather play sports in extreme hot or extreme cold, Kyle? While you're over there, gorging on some birthday cake.
Again, it depends on the sport, but
basketball, outside, not indoor.
Cold. And my answer would be cold I would say 75% of the time. And playing in this summer league for softball, I never would have been able to admit that until maybe over the last couple of weeks. And it's at night, and we're out in the sun, and I have to wring out my jersey before I get in the car.
Yeah, man. When y'all ask, do y'all want to play summer league softball? No.
I feel like an idiot.
Well, we are melting out there.
How cold is cold in this question?
Let's go, since we normally, what's our lowest, not lowest of all
40s.
Time, but 40. So I would say 45.
Basketball in 45? I'll take basketball at 45.
Basketball at 45.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the other part of that question.
Would you rather play sports in extreme hot or extreme cold? And we're talking
play sports or
play.
Watch?
Play.
Oh, I'm gonna cold.
Yeah.
You heard, but it's not nearly as bad.
As long as it's not tackle football, but still, you'd rather play tackle football in extreme cold too.
I would rather. Football might be the only one I think I'd rather play in the hot.
You'd lose a lot of weight.
It's just,
and I'm not even talking about. I'm not talking about for the
small. I think that was a fat joke.
Oh yeah.
I'm not talking about from the calisthenics though. I'm talking about
real small.
I'm saying because you would just be constantly. Kyle.
He pushes the cake away.
I'm saying because you'd be constantly throwing up out there.
That still sounds bad.
Okay, 40 degrees, catching a bullet pass in the chest.
What a guy, Dave. What a guy.
Unless you're like me and you have a lot of blubber on your chest, right, Dave?
Yeah.
Look, I've got an age rank on all you guys, and I've got a high school recently graduated high school age daughter who's been playing varsity soccer since she started. And I will tell you that soccer season is always in the wintertime, and we are freezing everything off of us sitting there just watching them play. But these girls are running around in just shortest shorts, t-shirts, nothing. I mean, you got the steam coming off of them. Like basketball, soccer, extreme, I wouldn't even probably think football, but yeah, they don't care. When you're out there and you're sweating and you're working hard, it don't matter. But you can be sweating and working hard in the heat and you just want to die.
Yeah.
So.
It's like someone's just blowing a hairdryer on you at all times.
We did have a couple of games in the fall season, or was that the spring season? We did have a couple of games in the spring season where it was a little bit more chilly for us Floridians.
Now, it's harder to get motivated for cold. Especially if you have the split in softball, which is the hour in between games. If anybody doesn't know, it's really hard to get back going for that second game. But yeah, I'll still do it over 100 degrees.
All right, as the resident person from Wisconsin here, I ran track all through high school and in collegiate levels where I had the option, because Wisconsin weather is so of running, where it was literally sleeting, snowing on me, and then a month later it was 90 degrees out, and I would absolutely choose the cold over the hot anytime. You can stay warmed up while you're cold. It motivates you to get warmed up, but when it's hot, you don't want to do anything, and the least movement possible is great, but if you're an athlete, that's the worst thing you can do.
That's right. You can put clothes on. You don't want to take them all off.
How long have you been here in Florida?
I don't.
I've been, as soon as I graduated in 2010, I moved to Atlanta, so I went to Hotlanta, then I came here. So
you hate the cold more than we do then?
Yeah, I escaped the cold, but I've also had my battles with it, so I don't know. I miss it sometimes.
I'm going to give you free tickets, too. We're going to go to 2 games here, and you got to choose one of these. Chiefs versus, and you're not actually getting free tickets, guys. I can't even afford them myself. Chiefs versus Bengals or Alabama versus Georgia?
For me, Alabama, Georgia. Chiefs, Bengals, you have no guarantee, but Alabama, Georgia is, without a doubt, every year the top 2 teams in the SEC.
So you'd rather watch which one?
Alabama, Georgia.
Oh, wow.
Chiefs Bengals. Chiefs Bengals.
Okay.
Go.
What about for you, Chris?
Same. Chiefs Bengals.
Chiefs Bengals. I think. Oh man, this is.
I'm a Gators fan, so I don't give nothing about Alabama.
I really want to go Chiefs Bengals here, but just because I haven't seen Bama play Georgia in person, and my brother is a Georgia fan, I'm an Alabama fan, so that would be a fun game to go to. So I'll take Alabama Georgia for this one. Let's go to Drew. You're over there putting some condiments on your burger. What you got?
In that bread.
Oh, yeah. Got to load it up, baby.
You know he's going to go to the Bengals game to see.
Of course, yeah. More LSU players. Give me Chiefs Bengals, baby.
All right, we'll keep it on the same lines here. Eagles versus Bills or Michigan versus Ohio State? What about that one, Drew, so that you can get into that burger?
I think I'm sticking with the NFL, Eagles Bills.
All right. What about you, Nick?
Eagles Bills on that one. I didn't answer the question before that, but I will say this. I will root against the Georgia-Alabama game, so I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
Both to lose,
well.
then
I'm like, everybody get hurt. I'm just kidding.
Oh, Amanda, which one for you here?
As much as I would want all of them to get hurt, Michigan, Ohio State, go Big Blue.
She didn't even take the just kidding route there at all.
I don't want either of them to win, but I like it better than the other two.
Be a tie.
Stone Cold
Eagles Bills is actually happening this year, right?
Should.
Ooh. I believe so. I believe the AFC and NFC East are playing each other this year.
All right.
So Eagles Bills will be an absolute clash. And you're talking like possible Super Bowl preview too, if you look at it from a certain point of view. So I would take the NFL in this case.
All right, look at is that a new phone case? I don't believe I've seen
my
that one.
My Wisconsin license plate.
Yeah, pretty neat there. I would never have a Floridian license plate as my phone case.
Wisconsin people are weirdly proud of being.
Oh,
Wisconsin.
I'm very proud of being a Floridian, no doubt.
And none of them live in Wisconsin anymore.
No, we don't. We all have.
I would have. You know what I would have before a Floridian license plate is the Florida State flag. That's what I would have.
I do like the Florida State flag. We got a Wisconsin State flag and a Florida State flag for the boat.
All right.
It's blue. It's in the.
You got to talk it to the mic, Amanda. I can't
even
hear you.
It's in my office.
Okay.
Go look at it.
All right. I'll take a break here. Kyle, you pick it up. All right. So we'll move on to, would you rather go to an NFL or collegiate stadium? Like, it doesn't matter the game, just NFL or college stadium. I'm going NFL.
Now that you can drink at college games, this is easy.
Oh, yeah.
And the atmosphere at a college game, you've got the rowdy, you go near the student section. You get around the wrong student section, you're going to be in some trouble.
Right.
But I think the atmosphere at a college game is more of a fun environment than an NFL game.
I disagree.
I want to go see Chiefs Raiders.
I disagree. I think NFL. I mean, I've been to the Swamp and watched the Florida Gators versus Florida State, and it was rowdy because we beat the crap out of Florida State. But it wasn't any more fun than when the Jaguars beat the Ravens.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the Jaguars beating the Ravens was way more fun, and we were all the way at the very top of that stadium. It was great views, and we got to watch just miss the winning kick. So that was awesome.
Nice.
So, I don't know. I'm torn on this one. I've been to a lot of each of these, and I love NFL stadiums. But the one thing that I love about college football stadiums is oddly enough, the band. Like, if I don't hear marching band sounds from it and, like, being close to a student section, it just doesn't feel footballish to me.
I'm going to kick in here and say that I was in the band, so I don't want to hear that.
What did you play?
A trumpet.
Cool.
Oh, that's usually it's like nerd
band gig.
So I'm a Bucks fan, and I'll tell you the atmosphere at a Tampa Bay stadium, which I hate that you've never been.
Yeah,
I mean it's just amazing. Those cannons that are firing all the time. I mean, and the cheerleaders are like upper level. I mean, and they're running the show. I mean, the whole thing is just amazing.
Been a few Tampa Bay Storm games. No consolation at all, but
I don't know if that's the same.
Not at all. But arena football is kind of slightly fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of arena football, Tallahassee getting a team?
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That is neat. I didn't see Tampa Bay on there, but it seemed like they had a couple more Florida teams, and arena football should be coming back here 2024 next year. So we're going to have unlimited amounts of football.
In Tallahassee.
Well, yeah, that's the really
within
cool
driving
part.
distance, yeah.
Yeah, within driving distance is really cool, but it's like, man, you got arena football, you've got the National Arena League, you've got the XFL, you've got the USFL, you got 14 divisions of college football. It's great, though. We'll see if the USFL and the XFL will continue to work things out or not. But I think I interrupted you, though. You were talking about Raymond James.
Oh, no, that's all I had to say. I think that stadium, sets the example for me.
Yeah.
And I think it's amazing. I love going to that. I love that whole atmosphere. And I would love to go to that and then even like a hockey game before I would like to go to a college game, honestly.
Oh, nice. That's a hot take. I like that, especially like here in Florida, too. Mm-hmm. You live down there in Tampa?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Nope. I love the area. I love the team. I've been a fan since I
lived down there and didn't go to a game.
Since it was the Florida College All-Pro team. That was like my favorite team. So I've been through all the ups and downs.
That is awesome. We got to take a break. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back talking a little bit more about the AFC South. That was fun.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents The Blast at Bay Point. Listen to win your tee time at the legendary Bay Point Golf Club in beautiful Panama City Beach.
You ready to play some high-low? I'm going to try.
Listen weekdays at 8:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to play high-low for a chance to win 18 holes at Bay Point Golf Club.
I tell you what, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it.
Listen to win The Blast at Bay Point from ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Wednesday's weather forecast. Slightly foggy tonight with a low near 81 and a wind between 3 to 7 miles per hour. A mixture of sunshine and slight fog tomorrow morning, a light breeze and a temperature of 90. About the same in the afternoon and evening, around 90 with sunshine. Hot with a high around 89 and sunny Friday. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, this is Tim.
Do y'all sell bait?
Yes, we seasonally stock live shrimp, live bull minnows, live sand fleas, live fiddler crabs, earthworms, night crawlers, crickets. We also stock frozen shrimp, sand fleas, mullets, squid, pre-rigged ballyhoo, bonita, stingray, cigar minnows, Boston mackerel, Spanish mackerel, and a few other miscellaneous baits. It's worth the drive to buy premium locally sourced bait from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
Barbaritos lets you say yes to fresh. If you don't know what to eat or where to get it, well, fret no more. Barbaritos is here to help with its healthy menu, offering 7 meals with less than 500 calories. Barbaritos has lots of healthy options made with farm fresh food. Your health and your family's health matters to us. Come eat healthy at Barbaritos, 23rd Street in the Stanford Station Shopping Center near Academy Sports. Barbaritos, food, community, people.
We don't sell the steak.
You can stir this all up.
We sell the sizzle. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs.
Very spicy.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Back. It's the Afternoon Underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3 here in Panama City, 101.9 in Port St. Joe, as Kyle eats a ton of chocolate cake here for his birthday. In fact, a little play-by-play action.
Ooh.
Nick Gurley just gave
very gently spoon-fed him.
Yeah, we gotta do it like golf. Oh, and he just scrapes the teeth along the fork there. All right, guys. Let's get ready for the AFC South preview and keep it rolling. Don't forget the Blast at Bay Point. You've got your next opportunity to play Monday at 8:40 in the morning on the Coach James Hale Show. And we've got 3 phenomenal local shows right here on ESPN Northwest Florida, starting with the Coach James Hale Show weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And then the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey, Jay Henley from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then the Afternoon Underdogs wrap up your afternoons here from 4 to 6 p.m. All right, let's dive into this AFC South preview. We'll go over the odds real quick. The Jags are the favorite right now, minus 160. The Titans are plus 320. The Texans are plus 800. And the Colts are plus 550. So everything's kind of in line there. It all makes sense. We'll go over a key stat for each team before we kind of ask a couple of questions around them as well. For the key stat for your Jacksonville Jaguars, during the Jaguars stretch of 6 wins and 7 games to close out the season, Trevor Lawrence averaged 254.1 passing yards per game and scored 14 total touchdowns while throwing just 2 interceptions. How big of a jump? Let's start here with Nick. How big of a jump does Trevor Lawrence take this year in season 3?
Not much.
Okay.
I think
he had such a good season last year?
Yeah, I think he was already good. I think he's going to pick up where he left off towards the end of the year. But let's be real, like those last few games, especially the playoffs. They really they really didn't do much. I mean, their defense stepped up at the end of the season is what ended up happening. But I also believe that you could see, as you were watching the games, that you could see where they were actually starting to trust Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Like they were actually because at first it was just us running the ball. And then ETN kept getting hurt. I mean, because you're running him 25 times a game.
Right.
And no running back can handle that, especially at his size at 215 or whatever. But Trevor Lawrence, once they finally started to actually give him some time and actually throw the ball around and let him do what he did in college, he made things happen. So I believe that you're going to continue to see. I don't think he makes a jump. I think it's the same that you saw to finish the season. That's the Lawrence you're going to get for the rest of his career. That's what I think.
I disagree. I think he does make a jump, and it's on the shoulders of one person.
There it is.
Calvin Ridley.
Took my fire, but yeah, that's what I was going to.
I don't think it's a massive jump. The stat here says he averaged 254.1 passing yards per game and scored 14 total touchdowns. I think that's going to be closer to 300.
I think your ceiling is higher.
But yeah, it's definitely higher. But I don't think it's going to be like Patrick Mahomes 350 throwing all over the yard. They're not going to completely unleash him. It's going to be like you said. It's going to be kind of what it was towards the end of the year. Let that defense do what it does, but allow Trevor Lawrence to be Trevor Lawrence. And I think just the addition of Calvin Ridley, a true number one.
Where the problem for me that lies on that. I love Calvin Ridley. I love that we picked him up. But the problem for me is that when he was with Atlanta, he was the only person in Atlanta. They had no running game. They had no defense. All they did was a game, or at least 15 passes his
playing
way.
From behind a lot.
But from behind all the time. You're not playing from behind here.
You don't know that yet.
He didn't go to the Super Bowl.
One, they were playing from way ahead.
Oh God!
But I just believe that they're gonna. I think he's obvious. Maybe the average goes up to 280.
Okay, so I think if you're averaging 280, that's pretty.
From 250 to 280. I mean,
yeah.
I can see that.
That's a good jump.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
a great jump. Kyle, did you want to continue on with your
no,
take
I mean,
there before Drew so rudely interrupted you? Mountain Drew Code Red.
I was actually going to say exactly what Drew was going to say. I think Calvin Ridley bumps his, like Chris said, his ceiling goes up here, right? Like you can expect there's going to be a lot more 300-plus yard passing performances out of him, and there almost should be. You have Evan Ingram coming back now. They got that deal done. But, I don't think it's as dramatic a jump as people think. But I do think possible dark horse MVP candidacy for him if he can get that team to a number 1 or number 2 seed in the AFC, which is going to be tough to do, but look out.
I think that's going to be the toughest award to get is the AFC MVP, just with Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, of course, Patrick Mahomes. The list goes on and on. But if they have the type of a jump, or if Trevor Lawrence has a big enough jump to get into that MVP conversation, let alone win the MVP, the Jaguars are definitely going to win the AFC South. No, I'm just kidding. They're going to do more than that. I think they make a run to definitely the divisional round, something like last year, and they put up a great fight against the Chiefs as well. So that was a good momentum builder for 2023.
They had an opportunity to knock the Chiefs off until they let Chad Henne drive 99 yards down their throats, and it was
Chad Henne, baby.
Yeah.
Talk about a dark horse.
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
So I would like to just chime in that the Jaguars didn't have a lot of turnover. So they're going to retain the majority of their team. And if you got buy-in like that team does, like when you gain momentum coming off of the season the way that they did, and you've got all that moving back into the start of the season, and then you add a player the caliber of Ridley, I mean, you can only expect more. Like your expectations are higher, and I believe you've got the buy-in from the team to really make that happen. So I expect more from them. MVP candidacy, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm there yet, but who knows what could happen. And then another year with Doug Peterson. And,
I'm just excited for year 2 I'm just excited for year 2. Get everybody, not just Trevor Lawrence, everybody more comfortable under his system.
I think that if you're the Jaguars, you need to go out and get a solid backup quarterback for if you have like a season like Doug Peterson and the Eagles did the year that they won the Super Bowl. Because you can't rely on injuries not happening. If that injury bug hits your team, it will wreak havoc. I mean, the Tennessee Titans are a symbol of that to some degree. The Tennessee Titans, the Dolphins are huge. Any team who lost their quarterback last year, the Broncos, no, I'm just kidding. Just a little shade at Russell Wilson there. The Tennessee Titans are plus 320. The key stat for them, the Titans have 2 first and 2 second place finishes in the AFC South in the last 4 seasons, and they made the playoffs in 3. So we'll start off. Do the Titans make the playoffs? I'm going to say I think the AFC South is weak enough for them to possibly win the division if the Jaguars do slip up at all, but that's the only way that anyone from the AFC South is making the division or is making the playoffs is as the divisional winner. So I'm going to say no right now because I think that the Jaguars are the better team, and that's as a Titans fan.
Yeah, I don't think the Titans are going to have a chance, man. I think there's going to be a lot of movement on that team. And the biggest question mark, of course, being at the quarterback position. Yeah. I just think there's too much going on. RIP DeAndre's career.
No doubt.
That his career went down when he signed with Arizona. Yeah, come on. It's been kind of on its way out already.
Good point. What's your thoughts on the Titans making the playoffs, Nick?
I actually think they have a chance. I mean, I think that the Jaguars, I think they are going to be good, and I do say that they will win the division, but I could also see a realm where it's very close between those two teams. The Titans squirted out, and all of a sudden the Jags are in the wild card.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could see that as well. So the Jaguars didn't play well until the end of the season.
Yeah.
So they came together at the very end.
Didn't they started out was it like they lost their first 2 and then they won 3?
Right.
But the Titans were 7-3 at week 10, week 11 rather, and then the Titans fell apart and the Jaguars got hot right there.
Right.
Then they had that big comeback win against the Ravens, I believe.
Yep. We were at that game.
Oh,
that was
really?
the start of it, and then they went on from there.
Drew, what you thinking about the Tennessee Titans' chances for the playoffs?
The addition of D-Hop definitely makes it more interesting, and I think they do have a chance. But in recent memory, what has Tennessee's receivers been? It's been where receivers they go to die.
Right. I mean,
basically, you've got Randy Moss, T.O.,
It's the new Cleveland Browns.
You just keep naming off players that had spectacular years, and then all of a sudden they sign at Tennessee as a last-ditch effort because they haven't had a receiver. And it was just so idiotic of them to go out and trade A.J. Brown and then have the year that they had and say, oh, wow, we did need a receiver, and now they're going to sign a guy who's 5 years older to arguably more than what you would have paid A.J. Brown?
No, to A.J. Brown 1-25. Now, the issue, though, with that, and it is a Titans issue, but John Robinson was the general manager at that point who made the decision to trade A.J. Brown. Then he was fired mid-season, and so now it's Rand Carthon's team. But yeah, that is a good point with DeAndre Hopkins. And honestly, I think the only reason he's providing any hype after his signing is name recognition, and that's all.
It's jersey sales.
Yeah. Chris, what's your thoughts on the Titans?
I would like to, first of all, say that you guys obviously research these things before you have the show, and I'm just stepping in. So I'm a little off the cuff, but I will say, just from watching games and just from following the NFL, what I do, so many times last season was I how did Tennessee even win?
Yeah.
How do they keep winning anything? I don't understand it. Tannehill's long game has not really always been there. It's been a lot of short dump passes, and Henry's been carrying the whole team on their back. So they got another receiver. I don't know what that's going to mean necessarily. I don't know if there's going to be enough of a quarterback controversy where somebody's going to be a better option for really airing the ball out. I mean, what are they going to plan for their offense coming up? Are they going to stick to the same game plan? Are they going to really try to open it up and be something more explosive? I mean, there's a lot of factors in here. This team can be completely different than it was last season. It could be a whole lot the same that it was last season.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm totally up in the air. I don't know that I've ever believed in them to this point, I don't think I can still believe in them yet. I think they've just surprised me too much.
100% with you, man. They definitely surprised the tar out of me all the time. Especially the quarterback controversy started in the draft when they decided to take Will Levis, which in their defense, is like everyone thought he was going to be a top 10 pick, and then you see him late on in the round. It's like, okay, but, you can... Or later in the draft, I
hope he surprises people.
I don't care. I mean, I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying, I don't think that it's possible that he does. But if it would be a good story if that were to work out like that. It's hard for me to believe that it's going to, especially when you're already hearing murmurs from camp, which it's only camp and it doesn't matter, that Malik Willis is outperforming Will Levis. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. And they're talking about getting rid of Malik Willis. So, of course, smart decision. This guy's playing better, but let's get rid of that guy. I mean, he does bring in more value. If that's the way that you want to look at it from the business side of things, that's great. I guess the one thing I can take away from the DeAndre Hopkins signing is that, as Titan fans, I don't think we've been able to look at this and be like, are we rebuilding? Are we going for it? What in the world is going on? And I think when you spend $12 million on a player, it's like, okay, well, they're still trying to see if that window's open. So there's a plus there. Now we've got two rookie quarterback teams, or rookie quarterbacks that are going to be leading these next two teams in the AFC South. The Houston Texans with C.J. Stroud, and then Anthony Richardson with the Colts. So let's start with the Colts to make sure that we get this one in here. We've got two Florida Gator fans in the building with us. So Anthony Richardson and the Colts, how is that going to work out? What are you guys expecting from Anthony Richardson here in his rookie year? What you got, Chris?
Oh, me? Okay, so... I don't have any faith in Anthony Richardson. I think he's a raw athlete, but I think he's raw, and I think that's the killer part of it. I think he got drafted extremely too high. I don't know that he's got the skills at the quarterback level to make it, even at the collegiate level. I don't think he proved himself enough, and it blew my mind how fast he went in the draft. I hope the best. I do, but I don't think I ever saw enough out of him at Florida to think that he was going to be all of that moving on. And the only thing that he had going for him was that he was an athlete. So I'm curious to see what happens. I really am, but I don't know, man. I think he's been a mild disappointment to me. I think he should have been a lot better. He was rated a lot better. He was touted to be much more than he ever showed anybody. So I don't know. Let's see. I mean, he's got all the pressure on him in the world now.
So I couldn't disagree more. So to me, I feel that when he was at Florida, he had nobody around him. Nobody. Florida was absolute trash. There was nobody there that deserved to be drafted in round one that was around Anthony Richardson. Now, did he prove anything? No. But look what happened when Anthony Richardson went down. We were awful. Probably one of the worst football teams on the field anywhere. I mean, we were awful without Anthony Richardson. The only reason why we even made it anywhere close to Florida State that game was only because of Anthony Richardson. When he wasn't playing well, which he also kind of gave that game away a little bit too. I mean, but when you're trying to do everything all by yourself, I mean, it's kind of hard. So we didn't give him anything.
His Utah game was his only highlight game.
I agree. And then he fell there, and then he wasn't consistent at all. But neither was the offensive line, neither was the run game, neither was anything else with the Florida Gators. And we had the worst defense in the entire SEC.
God help us.
That speaks a lot when you have Vanderbilt in the SEC. So I disagree with that. Now, I will say this. Is he ready to be a starting quarterback? Absolutely not. He is raw. He is got a lot of stuff to go on. I think he's on a good team to actually develop a little bit, because they're not in a win now mode anyway. But
I like that perspective.
I do believe he is the best athlete on the field. And when you are the best athlete on the field, sometimes you can make some stuff happen. And in the NFL...
Now, are you saying he is now, or he was the best athlete on the field, and he is. At the pro level, he still is?
100%. I think he is.
That's an interesting take.
Any field that he is on, he is the best athlete on the field.
Okay.
That's what I believe.
Much like Anthony Richardson, I'm going to take Nick's argument and run with it. I think the landing spot of the Colts was perfect for Anthony Richardson because of what Shane Steichen brings to the table. He was the guy, I say in air quotes, the guy who unlocked Jalen Hurts' pro potential, per se, as what you saw this past year, being the offensive coordinator for the Eagles last year. Along with, you have a bounce back year, prospectively, for Jonathan Taylor. like Nick said, you don't have a win-now mode team. It's a bad division on top of everything. So he's not expected to walk in there and put up Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck numbers. He can walk in and figure things out.
There's nothing to lose at this point.
Well, he can have Peyton Manning rookie-type numbers. I don't think that would be terrible. A lot of
what was his interception?
Yeah, it was like
18.
Yeah. Was it 18?
I believe it was 18.
Same as the number. For some reason, I was thinking 26. He was like 28 and 26 his rookie year, but I cannot remember off the top of my head. So C.J. Stroud or Anthony Richardson has the better rookie season. I'll say Anthony Richardson if Jonathan Taylor's healthy and he plays.
Statistically, I would say
Anthony statistically,
Richardson.
not the teams, not the teams.
You think they run an RPO?
They have to, right? Don't you have to with Anthony Richardson and even C.J. Stroud? I think you have to. I think with these younger quarterbacks that have mobility, you can definitely have the defense guessing which way they're going to go.
So I just want to take on Anthony Richardson. First of all, I don't think anybody's ever accused Anthony Richardson of being a good quarterback. That's not something that's ever happened.
That's why I said athlete.
No, absolutely. He showed flashes, and until you watch, like, he throws the ball in the student section against Vanderbilt. And maybe even as a Florida State fan, it's like the most. It was.
Why did I just get a Tim Tebow flashback?
It's crazy. It was like watching. You watch a guy like, okay, so I'm sure this has happened to you guys before. You got a guy that's on your rival team that you can't take your eyes off of. He's just so fun to watch, and you hate it. You just hate it. And it was like that with Anthony Richardson. I was watching Florida games because this dude was unbelievable, and then he does something like that because he can't throw a football 5 yards. But I will say I agree with the
synopsis.
With the synopsis of the Colts were the best possible situation for him to go to, and in the NFL today, that has translated more to be favorable towards quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, Anthony Richardson. I think guys like him, and I think even Jordan Travis coming out of FSU next year, I think the league is Josh Allen. I think the league is starting to favor that style of athlete / quarterback more. Like, if you're a pocket passer, you're done. Pocket passing's dead in the NFL. It's just not a thing. Even Joe Burrow's got to get out of the pocket. Even Joe, like,
as a Bucs fan, Brady just won a Super Bowl, like, recently being a pocket passer, but the comparison to Jalen Hurts that was made recently really kind of tweaked my interest because nobody gave that man a chance either.
Yeah, no, right, absolutely not.
And so that's why I think that the Colts need to start off with Gardner Minshew and give Anthony Richardson some time to kind of get acclimated. Because if you throw him out there to the Dogs in week 4 or 5 and he's not mentally strong for that, just because he's so used to being the best athlete on the field, and I love the take, but I disagree. Like, if he's playing up against the Rams defensive front, Aaron Donald's the most athletic person on that field. Like, to a degree, but then you talk about all of the measurements and everything, and
I was about to say, I don't know.
Yeah,
and, I mean, I'm not saying taking anything away from Aaron Darnold,
right?
But I mean, he benches a ton and he's really strong.
What about DK? DK Metcalf.
DK might,
right.
But that's what I'm saying. But the fact that you're putting him up against people who we actually think is the number one athletes on a
shows how athletic he is.
Shows how athletic he is. I mean, because if we're talking about like jumping and stuff, I mean, Aaron is not going to jump. That's
a good point. That's a good point. Actually, I think
until he does, and you're like,
surprised.
Okay, never mind, Aaron.
And the answer is yes. By the way, they have to run RPO.
Yes.
If they don't, they'll lose every game.
Yeah.
So,
and
sorry.
Still mind you.
No, you're fine. I was just going to circle back around and let everyone know, as shocking as it is, I was wrong. It was not 18 interceptions that Manning threw his rookie year. It was 28. I was 10 off. I apologize. As shocking as it is, guys, I apologize.
So David, an apology is what it is.
Yes, because
David said 26. He was closer.
No. He said 26 and 28 because he threw 26 touchdowns
26,
and 28.
28, 26.
Well, they had 26 touchdowns and 28 interceptions. So you were there.
The numbers right, but I still said it as 26 picks and 28 touchdowns. So I was wrong too, listeners. Please accept my apology. All right, you're right with the Afternoon
You don't know everything?
This is ESPN Northwest Florida. Quick timeout. We're going to be right back for our final segment of the afternoon, and then it's party time for Kyle's birthday.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest
Los
Florida.
Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
As we barrel toward the fall, you don't want to miss a single pitch of the Braves as they try to lock up their 6th straight division crown.
Harris puts a charge in one to left center field. That baby's out of here. Michael Harris is second.
Tonight, it's another big National League battle as Sean Murphy and the Braves square up against the Arizona Diamondbacks at Truist Park.
Coverage starts tonight at 6. First pitch is 6:20 on your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. ESPN, Northwest Florida.
It moves fast. The High School Spotlight. Weekdays at 5:40.
Let's do it.
Sponsored by Barbaritos. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. It's the final segment of the afternoon here. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. We're going to be here till about 7:30 this evening if y'all want to come out and hang out for Kyle's birthday. This is your local segment brought to you by Barbaritos, food community people. Visit Barbaritos on 23rd Street. Tell them that the Underdogs sent you. And don't forget to go to either Kyle Wright's Facebook or my Facebook, David Hayes, and vote for the Goat of Goat sports movies. And we've also got a little local news to go along with all of this. South Walton High School named Raven Bryant as its new softball coach. The head coach there, serving as an assistant coach. She was last year for just one season with the Seahawks. Bryant played softball since she was 8 years old. She played at Niceville and then played 4 years at Rollins College. In 2023, the Seahawks made their first playoff appearance since 2018. Graceville's also made a new hire. They've introduced Anthony Collier as its third head football coach in 3 years. The Bay County natives also spent time coaching at the middle school level with stints as head coach at Rosenwald, Everett, and led Jenks to an undefeated season and a county title. In recent years, Collier served as an assistant coach at Bozeman, Rutherford, and then most recently there at Chipley. Graceville's finished the past 2 seasons with a 2-26 record, so they can definitely improve upon a record of 2-26. Collier said he's been a part of several rebuilding programs and has no intention of taking any shortcuts with his program, and this might be the quote of the year. He says, "Have you ever eaten a steak out of a microwave? You may get it in 2 minutes, but you're probably going to chew it for 30 and it ain't going to taste real good." He said everywhere he's been, he's interested in building a program, not interested in running out and getting shiny new tools and going and winning 5 or 6 ball games and everybody patting him on the back, telling him that he's great. He's looking to build a program, so that is good news there for Graceville. And I love the microwave steak analogy because no one wants to have a well-done steak. How could you even get medium rare from a microwave? Is that even a possibility, you think, Nick?
I mean, if you pop it in there just for, I mean,
like 30, like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine? It makes me want to do it. I think
it'd have plenty of myoglobin.
I've cooked the steak in the air fryer.
Is it good?
It works.
Really?
You know, again, it's hard to get that medium rare. Yeah. But it got a good medium well, and it's not like the best thing in the world, but it's better than microwave for sure.
I'd rather eat dirt than a medium well steak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, me too, for sure. Yeah,
season the steak with dirt.
I need some mustard.
Chris, you make
some mustard?
That's
his binding agent.
I mean, he can throw that kind of stuff away. I mean, if I overcook a steak, I'm going to eat it.
Speaking of which, this episode is brought to you by Dirt.
Yeah.
Go out and buy it.
Go out and buy it. God made it.
You should have said that in your Luke Bryan voice.
Oh, yeah, buy Dirt.
There we go. That's good stuff. North Bay Haven has made some hires as well. They've got Steve Gillespie as the new AD over there, and Matt Knaus as the new head football coach. Gillespie's been coaching for the last 36 years. He started coaching after playing baseball in college, and he's coached at various levels from junior college, Power 5, scouted professionally, and most recently, he was the AD at a private academy in Georgia. He was the OC last year for the Bucks before taking over the head coaching position, or that's for Knaus, and he's been a head coach in Florida for 5 years at 2 different high schools. They have not announced who the next baseball coach is going to be. And then for my Florida fans and my Florida State fans, Blountstown has their rising senior defensive tackle and tight end, Artavius Jones. He's announced his commitment to the University of Miami. The first Blountstown Tiger to commit to Miami. The 4-star lineman didn't start playing football until his sophomore year of high school and didn't even play a defensive position until his junior season. And now he's a top 100 player in his class in the country.
Love seeing the local boys make it.
Yes. Another player that shafted Florida State. I love it.
That's right.
Hey, well, at the end of the day, they're putting on here for the northwestern part of this great state of Florida. And it's a lot of fun to follow these guys, when they hit the next level. It doesn't matter if it's D3, D2, FCS. It doesn't matter. If you're playing football at the next level, if you're playing any collegiate sport at the next level, it's very, very impressive. And don't take it lightly. And also don't listen to anyone who's like, oh, well, you didn't go to Florida State. And
I'm sure that one hurts, though. Blountstown's, 45 minutes away from Tallahassee?
If you want,
no, for sure.
You're talking backyard right there.
It's worse than Miami losing guys from South Beach because that's like the recruiting pipeline. But when Florida State can't get the guys from this area, especially at a position where Florida State's not recruiting too well, which is not many, by the way, but it is one of the ones, and it's a big need.
Florida State right now has been weird, though. The way they were recruiting, I know this isn't what this was supposed to turn into, but they're not like recruiting this year. They're recruiting like transfers for next year. Like they're going to win the transfer portal every year, it feels like, with Norvell. I mean, it feels like that's. And they're getting talent ready now.
Well, and it is going to be interesting.
Now.
Yeah.
But it also is going to be interesting. The transfer portal is still going to run rampant, but the COVID year, this is the final year of the COVID year, the fifth year, of the year that you got of extra eligibility because of the pandemic and whatnot. So, that's going to open up more roster spots for the high school kids. I mean, we got Cam Keys out of Mosley. He's going to be going to Missouri next year, so that's another name to kind of keep your eye on. Bay's got a litany of guys. Mosley's got a litany of guys. Arnold's going to have some guys going as well. So we got to pack out Tommy Oliver this year on Thursdays, Fridays. Gavlak as well. Let's put on for these kids. And also we've got Marianna, we've got Port St. Joe, all of these smaller schools like on the outside of Panama City as well that play a great brand of football. And there's a lot of great rivalries as well out there too. So make sure that you're putting on supporting these young local Bay County and Northwest Florida athletes as well. I guess we're going to have to pick up our AFC South review or preview here in the next show. I was going to say next segment. Obviously, that's not going to be happening. But Jonathan Taylor, we'll get back to the AFC South for a little bit here. Do you guys think Jonathan Taylor bounces back this year? I mean, fantasy speaking, he ruined a lot of people's seasons last year, much like Zeke Elliott has done in the past. Even Derrick Henry as well with an 8-game season not too long ago. Will Jonathan Taylor bounce back this year?
With Anthony Richardson under center, yes. If not, no.
I think he bounces back, yes, but not what he was. I never believed in him last year. The fact that people were saying that he was the number 1 running back was crazy to me. It's one season. He came out of nowhere, basically, and then ran a team that just did really well all of a sudden. I mean, it wasn't like they were really prepared for them to do that well, or especially for him. So I think he bounces back, has a better year than he did last year, but he's not the number 1 running back. Never was.
The secret to that success is the offensive line thought that there was a chance that they could get Andrew Luck back, so they started playing really good. And I'm joking. I'm being totally facetious.
Who's in these receivers?
Michael Pittman is about the only one that really stands out.
Yeah, period. That was it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I'm saying. So where's the focus of the defense going to be?
Jonathan
running
Taylor.
game.
Or Anthony Richardson in the RPO.
Mo Alley Cox.
Yeah, the tight end.
They're
I feel like he's
Mo Alley
viable.
Cox.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to be locking him down.
I think that there's a chance. I think there's a chance that Richardson has more rushing yards than Taylor.
Oh, like an Eagle situation almost.
I think there's a chance. I'm not saying he's going to happen, but I think there's a chance. I think there's a chance Richardson closes in on 1,000 yards this year.
I think if
he stays healthy,
no way.
I guarantee. I do. Mm-hmm.
I think if you're the Colts, though,
if he closes in on 1,000 this year, you know what he gets next year? 450.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Play here.
That's going to be the biggest sophomore slump in that.
It was a wild night for Austin Riley and the Atlanta Braves.
What a night for Austin Riley! 2 homers, 7.
Better and better, and starts playing into the limelight and gets the starting spot, and then he just does nothing but run around. I could see 1,000.
Lamar, but he's 240. I mean,
but that's the other thing, though, is you don't want to run him into the ground, though, right? Like, especially in year one. That's why I would say almost start out with Minshew and see where it goes. But you don't.
It's only be a second year starting.
Is that over? Yeah. No, I mean you're right. You can throw him.
He only started 1 year for it.
Yeah,
that's scary.
Golly, dude.
So you know what? I take back everything I said earlier. I think he's.
So now you agree with me?
Waited a whole segment to come out. You know what? Actually, Chris, but you was right.
It's those guys for some reason that get to the NFL and blow up.
Yep.
It's those guys. It's Joe Burrow, who played 1 year of college football. Really,
Joe Burrow's like the only. I don't want to say only, but most quarterbacks, when they come to the league out of college and they're doing good in the league, is because they got a chip on their shoulder. So maybe you could say the chip on Joe Burrow's shoulder would be Ohio State. You know, him having to transfer out of the hometown.
Maybe more of Nebraska for him. It really,
yeah.
Scott Frost looked at that man and said, "You're not good enough to play
Drew's over there
Nebraska."
drooling right now.
He wanted to go to Nebraska out of high school. Like, that was his dream school.
Yeah. National championship winning coach, by the way,
but
Scott
you
Frost.
know what? Well, actually, Joe Burrow's kind of. I was going to say when Joe Burrow's growing up, maybe Nebraska did have that year. What was it? 92? Was that?
They were huge in the entire 90s.
94, 95. Yeah, exactly. But they had one of the best teams.
Joe
of
Burrow
all
wasn't
time.
even alive.
That's what I was saying. I was making him a little.
We are.
I was making him a little too old at that point in time.
That's what to say. Chris Purser was in high school at that time.
What year was that?
94.
Yeah. I was a freshman.
What would you consider a successful first season for the new look Houston Texans? I almost said Tennessee Texans. What's going on with the whole brain today?
Tennessee Oilers, baby.
Yeah. What's a successful season for successful first season for the Texans here? We've only got a minute and 30 seconds left.
5 wins.
5 wins.
That's what I was thinking. 5 wins.
That's
5 or
about
6.
1 win than they've had in like the last 4 years or so.
They went 3-13-1 last year.
Yeah, they haven't won more than 4 games in the past 3 years.
5-6 wins, somewhere around
5-6 wins.
Yeah, I would see them like just beating last year's record.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, I like that. I think I'll say 4. 5 would be better for the Texans. But, man, it's going to be interesting to see how it because we gave so much flack to Dennis Allen, the New Orleans Saints coach, being a defensive coordinator guy, and now DeMeco Ryans, who was, very heralded amongst the other coaches in the league, and now defensive coordinator going to be taking over for the Houston Texans. And then C.J. Stroud is a rookie quarterback. It's a little bit different than having Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton and all of that good stuff. So it'll be very interesting to see how all of that plays out. You know what? I think we're done, man. I think we're done. I was going to try to ride it out till 50 seconds, but I'm like, you know what? I'm ready to go play the milk jug toss game and see if I can actually get it in the, you know what I mean? I want to.
Let the games begin.
Yes, exactly. All right, so Coach James Taylor Show is going to be live at 7 a.m. running until 9 a.m. tomorrow. You'll have the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey, no Jay Henley tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and then we'll be back tomorrow with Drew, Amanda, and I believe I'm going to have, Evelyn Ben, I call her Ole Miss Evie. She's going to be live there at Nashville. We're going to be talking about the SEC Media Days and the wrap-up thereafter.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Wednesday's weather forecast. Slightly foggy tonight with a low near 81 and a wind between 3 to 7 miles per hour. A mixture of sunshine and slight fog tomorrow morning, a light breeze, and a temperature of 90. About the same in the afternoon and evening around 90 with sunshine. Hot with a high around 89 and sunny Friday. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
At Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, you can find all the necessary items for an unforgettable fishing experience. From pin rods and reels to the best hand-tied rigs in Florida, we have it all. With the help of our friendly and knowledgeable staff, you can be sure that you have the right gear to make that big catch. Come experience a great local bait and tackle shop located directly off 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach, located just 5 miles west of Pier Park.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are covering all the bases on the Ford Leadoff Show. Brought to you by your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of your Atlanta Braves.
It's our final segment on the Ford Leadoff Show. Kevin and Chris here. We got the Braves and Diamondbacks coming up across the street here momentarily. And it's time now for our Prize Picks pick of the game. Get your first deposit matched up to $100 today by downloading the Prize Picks app and signing up with code BRAVES. Prize Picks is the official daily fantasy sports partner of your Atlanta Braves. Folks, he's 1-0 on the year. He's on a 1-game winning streak. Chris Domino, what do you have to make it 2 tonight?
Well, I'm going out west, all the way to San Diego. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Manny Machado. This is a 4. I will play the over. Hits, runs, and RBIs combo. Vladimir Guerrero and Manny Machado as a combo over 4 hits, runs, and RBIs on the evening.
I like that one.
Yeah, it almost seems like I was kind of like, hey, right with this 4? I don't care. That's what it says. Prize Picks right here says 4. I go over the 4 tonight.
All right, we'll see if it happens. And if you want to play along, go to prizepicks.com, download the Prize Picks app, use code BRAVES. They'll match your first deposit up to $100 today. All right, moving on to our keys to the game. They're brought to you by Landmark Dodge. Chrysler Jeep Ram. Trade up today for unbeatable deals from Georgia's #1 dealership. Check out their entire inventory at landmarkdodge.com. Nobody beats the Giant, and nobody beats a Domino key to a win.
Again, Charlie Morton, I'm going to go with the pitcher for third night in a row, and it hasn't really worked out necessarily in the last couple of nights. Let's see if Charlie Morton, he of the 10 wins, he of the 39 years of age, he of the 4 strikeout game that was as good as any game he threw this year. I don't care how it happens. Keep it in that vein, and the Atlanta Braves are going to have a better chance to win tonight.
We'll see if he can do that. I'm going with my son, Max. I said I need a key to the game. He said Michael Harris II is going to hit not 1 but 2 home runs here tonight. And you know why I like it, Chris? Last 33 games, Harris 7 doubles, 7 homers, and a .997 OPS. So why not 1?
Yeah.
Go for 2.
Why stop at 1 when you can go for 2?
2 is better than 1.
He can ask Austin Riley. How does it feel?
That's exactly right.
Tell him.
Well, that's going to do it for us. We got the Braves and Diamondbacks coming up next on the Braves Radio Network.
So you're in the middle of a kitchen update, and you can't tell if that's a faucet stem or a flange. With the Home Depot app, doing doesn't miss a beat. It'll find what you need in a snap, and it'll show you how to find it in store with a tap. Or get it delivered free. For doing that doesn't stop. Download the Home Depot app. It's made for doing.
Mom, Dad, Sis?
Here we go again.
Why are you in a suit? Picture, if you will, a world with the best network imaginable. I'm talking about the Xfinity 10G network. Go on. Mom, remember how your reality shows wouldn't load with all of us online? Now you can binge. And Susie, we'll have fast internet in the basement.
Nice.
If you have any questions, here's my card.
This is just your name on a gum wrapper.
Introducing the 10G network only from Xfinity. The future starts now. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary and are not guaranteed.
Slide into the official hotel of the Atlanta Braves in style at National Anthem, the premier culinary destination for baseball fans and foodies attached to the Omni Hotel at the Battery Atlanta. Savor the flavor of reliably good seafood, prime steaks, double-stacked burgers, and simply prepared quality cocktails just steps from the Chop House gates. Wind down at the Omni Hotel after a night out at the Battery Atlanta with room night packages that keep you close to the action. Explore special rates and packages today when you book at omnihotels.com/Battery Battery Atlanta.
I'm Cordy, Cortland's new spokespuck. This broadcast of the Atlanta Braves is brought to you by Cortland Apartments. Visit Cortland.com to learn about next level living at our communities all over Braves country.
So you've heard the saying that if you love your job, you'll never have to work? Well, it's true.
I've worked for Brock Lawn and Pest Control for many years. The commitment to the needs of customers
and their commitment to each employee makes Brock a company I'm very proud to be a part of.
Brock's core values are also mine. Give people more than they expect and always honor your promises.
This isn't a job. It's a service to help people live a healthier lifestyle.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control. Our family protecting your family.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Young Cycle across from FedEx Mosley Drive in Lynn Haven has a fantastic selection of pre-owned Harleys at great prices. Great prices. Don't buy a Harley until you stop by Young Cycle. Young Cycle, a full service department is available too, offering motor trike conversions, parts, and accessories. Nothing compares to Harley Davidson and the low prices on pre-owned Harleys at Young Cycle. Young Cycle, 112 Mosley Drive across from FedEx in Lynn Haven.
Atlanta Braves baseball on the Gulf Coast is sponsored by Brock Pest Control, Bestway Portable Buildings, PCB Hobby, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
The 2023 Atlanta Braves have already shown the league that they're in it to win it this season. And you don't want to miss a moment.
We wanted a fly ball to deep center field, sprinting back Michael Harris. Harris to the warning track. Harris will leap, and
he got it! He caught the ball! You have got to be kidding me!
With some huge bats in the lineup and some big pitching performances, the Braves are a runaway train heading toward the postseason.
Swung on, Belton! Deep right field! Get out of here, Ozzie! Home run! Ball game!
Atlanta Braves baseball on the Braves Radio Network is brought to you by the original Louisiana brand hot sauce, the official hot sauce of the Atlanta Braves. Your local Ford dealers, proud partner of your Atlanta Braves. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. Northside Hospital, for a healthier future, look to Northside. Your local Hyundai dealer, proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves. Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers. When the Braves score, you score at Express Oil. John Foy and Associates Personal Injury Law. Get the strong arm. Arrow Exterminators. Make the right call and protect your home or business from pests by calling 888-GO-ARROW or visit arrowexterminators.com. Georgia Power, the official electric energy partner of the Atlanta Braves. Conecuh Sausage, the official smoked sausage of the Atlanta Braves. Georgia Baptist, people who care. Xfinity, the next generation 10G network only from Xfinity. The future starts now. Yanmar Tractors and Engines, an official partner of the Atlanta Braves grounds crew. Peachtree Orthopedics, same day evenings and Saturdays. It's time to get better. Matt's Exteriors, serving Braves country since 2007. IBEW Local 613. Truist Park keeps the lights on with IBEW 613 electricians. Cancer Treatment Centers of America, now City of Hope, transforming the future of cancer care. The Battery Atlanta's own ASW Distillery, home of award-winning spirits like Fiddler Bourbon and Winterville Gin. Plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians, Local Union 72. Keeping Atlanta comfortable is what we do, and we do it better than anyone else. TYM Tractors, a winning lineup, together as one. TimberTech, everything wood should be. Visit timbertech.com. Attorney Ken Nugent, one call, that's all. Tonight, it's another big National League battle as Sean Murphy and the Braves square up against the Arizona Diamondbacks at Truist Park. This is Atlanta Braves baseball on the Braves Radio Network, lit by Louisiana Hot Sauce.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Atlanta Braves baseball. Tonight from Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. It's the second game of this series of 3 between the Braves and the Diamondbacks. Charlie Morton is on the mound for Atlanta, and he faces right-hander Ryan Nelson. Great to have you with us alongside Joe Simpson and our producer-engineer Jonathan Chadwick. Ben Ingram here with you. And, Joe, last night's ball game, at least for the health of the pitching coaches, we need a different kind of game tonight. I think both pitching coaches might have needed a very high dose of some kind of sedative to put them to sleep last night.
No doubt. And you might have trouble finding some guys in the bullpen tonight, too. They might be hiding out as well. So need some innings out of Charlie for sure. Whether or not the Braves can jump on Ryan Nelson and get into their bullpen early, I'd love to see that, see how they scramble around down there.
That's for sure. You definitely don't want to change anything offensively for the Braves, but I think all the focus goes to Charlie Morton because he's been so good lately, and if you're looking for a stopper, or at least for the last month or so, he'd be the guy.
Well, the month of July, 3 starts, 3-0, an 0.47 ERA. He's only given up 1 earned run in 19 innings. He got beat by Arizona out west, but he pitched well and pitched 7 innings and lost a close ball game 3-2. He's pitched well against him. He knows how to beat him, and hopefully he can do it again tonight.
But a lot of teams look at the Braves and say, you've only lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
There are a lot of teams that have had significantly longer losing streaks than that, but I think for the Braves, to get back into the win column, you turn to Charlie. And the way that he's been pitching lately, feeling very good about things, and you need certain guys to pick up the pace throughout stretches of the season, and Charlie's usually very consistent, but right now he's that guy.
He is that guy. He is your stopper. You want him to be the stopper, and until Max Fried comes back, he is the guy who has to lead the charge for everybody, in my opinion. I know Spencer Strider's had some better numbers, but Charlie's got 10 wins. He's going for number 11 tonight. Step it up.
Yeah, exactly. And here's a number that you don't like. The Braves have surrendered 30 runs during a 3-game losing streak. They had allowed 30 runs in their previous 12 games combined. So you don't have to look too far to find the problem here in the last 3 games.
Well, last night was an outlier. 16 runs. Are you kidding? The Braves don't give up 16 in a week sometimes, but the shortages out in the bullpen, the fact that there are so many guys on the IL right now, make it very hard for Rick Kranitz and Brian Snitker to cobble together a game when the starter doesn't go very deep.
Yeah, so all eyes on Charlie tonight, looking for a win to even the series, and then win the series tomorrow in the rubber game. Well, when we come back, Joe will introduce you to the starting 9 for both teams, and right after that, we'll have the first pitch. We'll have it all, Braves and Diamondbacks tonight on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Some choices are complicated, like do I get peanuts or popcorn? Thankfully, others are much simpler, like rooting for the Braves and choosing Truist One checking. No overdraft fees, lots of perks you can cheer for, and when your account balances grow, you get upgraded automatically. Oh, and with more than 130 Atlanta branches, you can add convenience to the list of perks too. Truist One checking. One simple choice. Branch count as of May 31st, 2023. Atlanta metro area. Truist Bank member FDIC.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Atlanta Braves baseball on the Braves Radio Network is lit by the original Louisiana brand hot sauce, the official hot sauce of the Atlanta Braves. Bring the heat.
Living on the Gulf Coast, we have beautiful beaches, clear water, and amazing marine life. Want to bring a piece of the ocean into your home or office with an amazing aquarium? Gulf Coast Aquarium, the area's only certified platinum CCHEM dealer. Their staff are all certified CCHEM specialists. Gulf Coast Aquarium can install, design, maintain, and finance your own piece of the Gulf. Gulf Coast Aquarium, powered by CCHEM, with over 40 years as a U.S.-based manufacturer of quality aquarium products. Online at GulfCoastAquarium.com. Gulf Coast Aquarium, where it's more than just a tank.
Hi, this is Matt Lewis with Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. We offer comprehensive diagnostics and repair service for all types of hydraulic units, such as hydraulic and pneumatic cylinders, hydraulic pumps, motors, and valves, as well as a broad range of hydraulic hoses and O-rings. Give us a call at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions at 850-326-3000 for any of your hydraulic needs. Or come see us on Commercial Drive off Jinx Avenue in Panama City.
Hello, this is Rick Vossen with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer, located at 2241 East Baldwin Road. Shopping for a garage, portable building, cabin? We build them anywhere from 8 to 16 foot wide, 10 feet to 60 feet long. We can do insulation, electricity, transom dormers, thermal windows. Come, let's customize a building together. Rick Vossen, Stormore Portable Building Dealer, Panama City.
The next home run is sponsored by the Coach James Hales Show. Live and local on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Now, back to the Braves.
Time for a look at tonight's starting lineups for Game 2 of this series between the Braves and the Diamondbacks. First for Arizona, leading it off, playing right field is Jake McCarthy. Batting second at second base is Ketel Marte. Corbin Carroll will bat third and play left field. At first base, batting cleanup, Christian Walker. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. will bat fifth, and he will be the DH. Batting sixth, the veteran third baseman, Evan Longoria. Hitting seventh and doing the catching tonight will be Gabriel Moreno. Nick Ahmed, a former Braves farmhand, will be at shortstop hitting eighth, and Alec Thomas, the center fielder, bats ninth. Once more for Arizona, you got McCarthy, Marte, and Carroll, Walker, Gurriel, and Longoria, Moreno, Ahmed, and Thomas. For the Atlanta Braves, leading it off, playing right field will be Ronald Acuna Jr. Ozzie Albies bats second, and he'll play second base. Austin Riley, off a record-setting performance last night, will bat third and play third base. At first base, batting cleanup, Matt Olson. Batting fifth, doing the catching, will be Sean Murphy. Marcelo Zuna will be the DH, and he'll bat sixth tonight. Batting seventh, back in the lineup to play left field, Eddie Rosario. Orlando Arcia will hit eighth and play shortstop, and batting ninth, playing center field, will be Michael Harris II. So for your Braves, it's Acuna, Albies, and Riley, Olson, Murphy, and Ozuna, Rosario, Arcia, and Harris. Those are your starting lineups. We'll be back with first pitch right after this on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
If you drive a truck, you know that shift happens. You know that moment when you hit a speed bump or make a sharp turn, everything shifts and all of your gear goes sailing across your truck bed. You need an unruly cargo management system. This state-of-the-art storage system with an integrated tonneau cover slides into your existing truck bed and secures your gear, tools, golf clubs, and even groceries. They are made right here in the USA for Ford, GM, Ram, Nissan, and Toyota trucks. Check them out online at StayUNRULI.com.
Some choices are complicated, like do I get peanuts or popcorn? Thankfully, others are much simpler, like rooting for the Braves and choosing Truist One checking. No overdraft fees, lots of perks you can cheer for, and when your account balances grow, you get upgraded automatically. Oh, and with more than 130 Atlanta branches, you can add convenience to the list of perks too. Truist One checking, one simple choice. Branch count as of May 31st, 2023. Atlanta Metro Area, Truist Bank member FDIC.
Win up to $2,777,777. Play the new Hot Sevens Family Scratchers from the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day.
Game days are always better at Dave & Buster's. That's because more TV inches, more food and drinks, more space, and more fun make the game we all know and love more special. Nothing beats seeing your favorite team take the field on the two 12-foot big screens or 26 75-inch TVs. Throw in the arcade experience and you've got a winning atmosphere that no other sports bar can deliver. Follow the fun at Dave & Buster's, Panama City Beach on Facebook and Instagram. Eat, drink, play, and watch sports at Dave & Buster's.
Living on the Gulf Coast, we have beautiful beaches, clear water, and amazing marine life. Want to bring a piece of the ocean into your home or office with an amazing aquarium? Gulf Coast Aquarium, the area's only certified platinum CCHEM dealer. Their staff are all certified CCHEM specialists. Gulf Coast Aquarium can install, design, maintain, and finance your own piece of the Gulf. Gulf Coast Aquarium, powered by CCHEM, with over 40 years as a U.S.-based manufacturer of quality aquarium products. Online at GulfCoastAquarium.com. Gulf Coast Aquarium, where it's more than just a tank.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Braves fans, let's keep the conversation going. Tune into the Afternoon Underdogs weekdays 4 to 6 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Back out here at the ballpark, beautiful night for baseball. Temperatures are a little lower than the last few nights. 85 degrees at game time. Wind out of the west at 4 miles an hour. Game number 94. That means there's 68 left after tonight. Tonight's A-list members of the game are the Chapin family from Peachtree Corners, Georgia. The Chapins have been members since 1992, and their favorite A-list perk is being able to work with their wonderful account executives to help manage their tickets throughout the season. Congratulations to the Chapin family, tonight's A-list members of the game. Charlie's led the troops out on the mound behind Charlie Morton tonight. In the outfield right to left, Acuna, Harris, and Rosario back in there. First to third, Olson, Albies, Arcia, and Riley. Sean Murphy doing the catching for Charlie Morton, who's 39 years old, 6'5", 235, out of Reading, Connecticut. He is 10-6 with a 3.20 ERA. And what a great thrill. Ron Gant's here. It's his bobblehead tonight, and he's going to announce it's time to play ball. Nice hand.
Braves fans, it's time for Braves baseball.
Yes, it is, Ron. Nice to see you on the field again.
Let's play ball.
Charlie, in July, 3 starts. He's 3-0 and 0.47 ERA. Lifetime against the Diamondbacks, 5-2 with a 4 ERA. Charlie's ready to go, and so is Ben Ingram.
Yeah, man, let's roll. Second game of this series. Braves looking to snap a 3-game losing skid, even up this series with Arizona, then take the series tomorrow. Charlie Morton's ready. So is Jake McCarthy, the only person who isn't. Nestor Ceja, the home plate umpire. It's 7:19 on the clock, and he's waiting on 7:20. Meanwhile, everybody's standing around waiting, and the clock just hits 7:20, and he gives the green light to Charlie. So Charlie's ready, climbing in Jake McCarthy, and now for the ball game. The first pitcher called strike. 0-1 on Jake McCarthy. We saw him last night, got 1 AB, came on to pinch in the 9th inning, singled and scored. 0-1 from Charlie. That'll be sent foul on the first base line. And an 0-2 count on the leadoff man, Jake McCarthy. Braves fanned out in the home whites tonight. White tops, white pants, red lettering, red numerals outlined in navy. Braves across the chest on top of the tomahawk. 0-2. And that's lifted in the air. Shallow left center field. Harris, Rosario, both in the neighborhood. This will be Eddie's ball. And he's got it out there in left center field. 1 down here in the top of the first inning. Folks, Prize Picks is the official daily fantasy sports partner of the Atlanta Braves. Make your live in-game picks now on the Prize Picks app or at prizepicks.com. Diamondbacks wearing their alternate uniforms tonight. The Sedona red uniform tops, kind of a darkish red with gray pants, black lettering, black numerals, outlined in gold, and D-backs marching across the chests of their Sedona red uniforms. 1 down for Ketel Marte. Had a big night last night. 3 hits. Takes first pitch strike and curveball.
I can promise you this. If my team scored 16 runs on 16 hits, I'm wearing the same unis. I'm not even washing them.
0-1, nibbling for the outside corner, couldn't find it. You could score 16 runs. You might have even slept in those uniforms last night.
Right.
1-1 from Charlie. That'll be hacked at and missed. Went after a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. And that's the good 1-2 punch from Charlie. He's got the changeup, the sinker, and the cutter, of course. But this veteran curveball, fastball, when they're on, he can be lights out like he has been lately. 1-2 to Marte. A little dribbler foul down the first base line. And last outing for Charlie. 7 innings, no runs, 3 hits allowed versus the White Sox. Got the win. In fact, that's the last time Braves won a ball game. 1-2 to Marte. Off the plate, 2-2. The last time Charlie lost a game, it was on the 2nd of June against these guys. It was at Arizona. And since then, he's gone 5-0 with a 2.52 ERA. Wind up in the 2-2 pitch to Marte. Just a little bit low at a 3-2 count. Obviously, Charlie has seen the Diamondbacks a lot in his career. This is his 14th career start versus Arizona. 5-2 with an ERA of 4 in his career versus the Snakes. 3-2 pitch. Popped up on the infield. Riley coming in towards the mound. So is Sean Murphy. This will be Murph's ball. And he just about stepped on his mask, but he made the catch right in front of the mound. 2 down.
Come on now. Catcher has to run all the way to the mound to make a catch on a pop-up. I'm glad he did.
He was there. It was...
You never see that.
I mean, just a step from the mound, right in front of the mound. So 2 up and 2 down. And Charlie looking for a 1-2-3 first inning. But there's Corbin Carroll. And he'll take a first pitch strike. This guy was a headache last night. He was on base 4 times. He scored 3 times. Even reached once on a strikeout wild pitch where he wound up at third base. 0-1, missed the inside corner with a fastball, 1-1. Carroll hitting .286 on the year, 18 home runs. What has been a stellar campaign for this young man. Swings and misses. Went away with a changeup and a 1-2 count. Now time taken by Carroll. Good crowd continuing to build early here in Atlanta. They're getting loud, and that's good to see. They'll be even louder here with a swing and a miss. Righty-lefty matchup. The 1-2 from Charlie. This low and inside. Count even 2-2. That fastball 97. Infield plays the lefty Carroll to pull. And the 2-2 pitch. Take a hike. Swung on and missed. And a good curveball from Charlie Morton. He's out to a grand start with a 1-2-3 first inning. We head to the bottom of the first. Diamondbacks nothing. And the Braves coming up when we come back. Hey, this is Ben Ingram, and let me tell you about my friends at TimberTech. If you've ever had a wood deck, of course you've experienced rotting wood that's gone bad, wood that's splitting and warped. TimberTech will never do that. TimberTech is the #1 premium composite decking brand, and it's tough enough to handle anything you throw at it. This stuff needs virtually no maintenance. Just a bit of soap and water, and you're good to go. And with industry-leading warranties, you're protected season after season. Check out some free samples. Just go to TimberTech.com. See the TimberTech difference. TimberTech, everything wood should be.
When you get a deal at the Big One sales event, you can't help but celebrate. Celebrate your way with a deal at the Big One sales event. Lease a new 2023 Toyota RAV4 LE for $319 a month for 36 months. Toyota, let's go places. Offer valid through August 1st, 2023. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. 3618 due at signing. No security deposit with select equipment. $350 disposition fee. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
There's a reason Braves fans prefer the original Louisiana brand hot sauce. That's because the original Louisiana brand hot sauce adds a kick of flavor to so many things. It puts the pop in popcorn, adds zing to wings, pizzazz to pizza. Made using only the best sun-ripened peppers, the original Louisiana brand hot sauce is Atlanta's choice for game day. The original Louisiana brand hot sauce, bring the heat.
I'm Cordy, Cortland's new spokespuck. This broadcast of the Atlanta Braves is brought to you by Cortland Apartments. Visit cortland.com to learn about next level living at our communities all over Braves country.
Game into the bottom of the first inning. Going to be Acuna, Albies, and Riley for the Braves facing right-hander Ryan Nelson, 6'3", 184. 25 years old, out of Henderson, Nevada. His first pitch low and in to Ronald Acuna. A glance at the Arizona leather has Christian Walker at first base, Ketel Marte at second, Nick Ahmed at short, Evan Longoria at third base for Arizona. 1-0 to ground ball, bouncer to short, gloved on the second hop by Ahmed, throws on the run, and 1 down. So Acuna retired. That brings Ozzie to the plate. Diamondbacks with a very swift outfield. Corbin Carroll in left. Alec Thomas is in center. Jake McCarthy in right field. Gabriel Moreno behind the plate and harnessed with the right-hander Ryan Nelson. And Joe, obviously, he has the task at hand of trying to slow down the Braves tonight, but that starts right out of the gate in the first inning, doesn't it?
100 runs the Braves have scored in the first inning so far this year, Ben.
Ozzie Albies takes a called strike.
You just dispatched the toughest to get out, and that was Acuna, who's on base